Back to Adara.
Yeah, lots of things to go over quickly here. Financial Times reporting that the U.S. is freezing technology exports to China in hopes of getting meeting with President Xi. So again, U.S. reportedly freezing exports to China in hopes of getting a meeting with President Xi. That is reported by Financial Times. Also, IoT on watch. This one getting a positive note from Altucher saying that Apple could actually be looking to buy out IoT. Again, this is just a report, just speculation, but either way, IoT pushing higher here again. Altucher writing that Apple could potentially be looking to take over the company. Back to you.
Oh, 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 boom! Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the Midday Show. That right there is, he is the one, Kenobi, your boy Obi, and I'm Sharif. And where's everybody at? Show me. Let's bring in the chat, baby. Shout out to Marvy Earth. I like that one. I'm looking for new names today, so if you have a new name, throw it in the chat. Royal Dixon. Oh. Who else we got? Cisco. Sorry, guys. I'm feeling every bit of Monday. Asimo, Trader Family, Epic Operas, King, Clutch, and Papa Bear. Shout out to the villain. Shout out to Oleg, the OG Darwin. That's not a new name. That's a lie. It's a bold-faced lie. Shout out to Nomad, Tristan, Alexander, Sir Films a Lot. Yes, that is a new name. Miami Dragon, Casalona. Casaloma? Are you from Toronto? Ron Williams, Neil, I don't know. I just read them out, baby. We got who? Unconquered 82. Oh, nobody can get under this guy, bro. MU Trade, Curly Fries Flattener. You just put a damper on everybody's party, don't you? We got Fairman Hamza, Break Even. I don't know about that name. Who else? We got Juggernaut. That's not a new name. Ludo Kid. Come on. The new names. Where are they at? Romaric Ali, Butterbags, Vader Was Framed. you got a chuckle from the Chilean Nightmare. Trader to Thrive. Shout out to Isaac Davis and another OG, Mike P. D. Rider. He be deriding these positions to the north and short side. Good morning, Gold. Thanks for
Good morning. Yeah, thank you. How's your weekend?
It was really good, man. A lot of sun. They picked up the parents from the airport on Friday night. They came back from California.
Oh, nice.
You know, they got to see the sister enjoy some nice sun. Yeah. How about yours?
Yeah, no, I was in Chicago this weekend.
Oh, that's
with
right.
My sister. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, so birthday celebrations continued.
Hey.
But
remind me tell you something after the show, or to give you something after the show. Speaking about that too. Yeah. You can't do it over here though. Like, you know, it's not legal everywhere we go.
Oh boy.
It's certain places.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, no, it's what a crazy date. Absolutely not. I'm just saying pretty much chop, but
yes, sir.
You were talking to me about this, this what's it called? Vape, which was blowing up some smoke in the pre-market. That's absolutely wild.
Yeah,
that's
nuts.
What, $9 to 177?
Oh, but
160?
It's insane. I mean, we know.
Small caps are going crazy. It's absolutely wild. And you were talking about that PDT rule as well.
Yes, sir.
Coming into question. So should be interesting going forward. I know you've been putting in the reps for all those small caps.
Yeah.
Sharif's been preparing, guys. And when that PDT is kind of discarded, we were talking about how all that volume into small caps could have an increase. So, yeah, good stuff. I'm definitely going to be looking at that. As of right now, I'm not really, I guess, in too much. I think I was in Google, but my layout's a little kind of scattered around. I haven't been on this side of the desk in a very long time. And I looked at some of these futures, and it was in 2023.
You're kidding.
It was so here it says U25. It was on M23. That was the last time I logged onto this side. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm sure I was on this side multiple times.
Maybe you didn't load it up though.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. But yeah, it's been a while, and my chat is finally working. I had to kind of wait for that one to pop out. So now I can finally read what you guys are saying in the chat. So yeah, I think I'm currently in Google, if I remember correctly, back at my desk. So let's take a look and see what that one is up to. Oh boy, okay, so all right. So I was like, all right, bit of a strong flush off of the open. And I like the action that it slowed down around 191.5, looking for a potential push back into VWAP. But as of right now, you can see, Sharif,
Sir.
market, like something you like to say is doing bupkis.
It's doing nothing. I like that. I like that, Ob. All right, guys, let me get into this trade over here. We're going to look at VAPE in a second. It's still, look, it might be tradable, just not under my system. I'll explain what I mean in a second. But I want to talk about Fat Albert here before we start everything else. ALBT. Shout out to my boy Fat Albert. Now, look, ALBT is insane. Okay? Much like VAPE, this one is quite volatile. We're doing bupkis, to use an OB term there, as 10:30 came along. Then all of a sudden, 10:45 comes in. All hell breaks loose to the high side, and so does the volume, and following that, the price action. So we break by 3 very aggressively high a day, 474. We did that 290 to 474 price action within 2 5-minute candles there. Alas, the good times don't look like they're lasting. We are breaking down now below the volume weighted average price. We are finding support, at least initially, at the 10 EMA. So it's one of those anomalies because of the aggressive move up here on ALBT. The volume weighted average price is higher in the price than the 10 EMA. That is usually, the other way around. The 10 EMA usually a little bit higher for trending up stocks than the volume weighted average price. So right now, the 10 EMA on ALBT on the 5 is at 342. It is finding buyers here at 342, but I'm going to need to see this weasel above that. I want to say 375 where VWAP is. So I'm very, very intently watching ALBT. We've had several entries on it. Excellent trade so far into 3.5, scalp, up to 390. It breaks down. We flatten out, break even for the remainder amount. It breaks 4. We add aggressively into 4, add on top of 4, scalp up all the way into 430. It is losing the bid, as I mentioned. Let's see if this one wants to weasel its way back up. I'm an interested buyer, no question about it. I'm also involved in this trade. This is a lot slower though. SES, okay? This one is respecting, at least from my observations, very, very respectful so far of the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. I don't see a breach, guys, of the 10 EMA on the 5. Essentially, I don't see it at all. So from 9:30 onwards, there has been no breach of the 10 EMA. I added there into the dip on 40 because I perceive there to be buyers there. We've already wet the beak up into 44s and a quarter. We got the mid print there. I'm layering my orders. I did add into this one. Let's go ahead and wet the beak again now that we're up a little bit up here and see what else we get. So SES, but I've got a lot of more, guys. There's a whole bunch today going on. There's the finger. FNGR. And let me tell you, I take a trade on this and it goes south, you know what I'm going to do, right? It would be very appropriate, give the finger to the finger, of course, right? That would be very apropos.
Tat for tat, tit for tat.
Tit for tat, there you go. All good. I know that's what you meant, Ob.
Yeah.
I know that's what you meant. Okay.
Starting off the week, coming off of a little bit of vacation, I'm definitely a little slow right now. Dude, I can't get these windows to set up. I don't know what Joe's been doing on here, but these 5 desktops, and I can't get any of some of my execution windows up. I got my main window up right here, but I did the pinning thing that you were talking about. Yep. It's not really working right now. I am down to try a couple more things, but let me know what you guys have been trading. I wasn't trading for the past couple of days either. Missed some earnings. Intel. Earnings didn't really do too much. I was watching some of that, and I think what was the other one? There was another strong one as well. CMCSA with the strong quadunk on Friday or Thursday or Friday or something like that. Gotcha. Comcast as well. Oh boy, it seems like Google is starting to push up a little bit here. Yeah, so let's see. I'm gonna pull up some charts here, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna try to get set up so I can be a little bit more, nimble with trying to look at some stocks that everybody's talking about here. I know a lot of people talking about Circle, and yeah, Confirm Joe Station needs some help. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what's going on with this station here.
Get it,
but oh boy.
Oh boy. All right. Let's. I got a bunch of small caps to talk about, so I'll give you an opportunity to set up, Hope. So FNGR, this is up about 27%, give or take. It's a 235 high. Look, it's not the VAPEs or the ALBT, but it is still putting in a nice little predictable higher low, higher high situation. There does seem to be some selling here at the 2 1/3, so keep your eye out on FNGR. Let's see where this one finds support, man. If it's going to be that 235 for the 10 EMA, fine, we'll get in there. If it wants a deeper retracement into the VWAP, into the WAP at 213, we can have a discussion about that as well. It's just going to be where this one wants to find support. Let's talk about YYAI. Y'all remember YYAI from Friday? This had a fantastic day Friday until about noon hour when it topping tailed into about 390, and then all hell broke loose to the downside. It didn't, though, end up losing VWAP. So to me, that made it a better candidate for a second day play. If it holds on to the volume weighted average price into the close, that means somebody's buying this PO, you know what, okay? And if somebody's buying it at this level, it probably behooves you to keep an eye on it for day 2. And that's what we're keeping it on for. And there it is. It's doing it again. It's got 2 bull flags under its belt. The first bull flag, 9:30 pop. We continue. Second bull flag, I want to say 10 o'clock pop. We're holding VWAP. But it's got a downward tilt here that you can't negate, obviously, because we need to be on the lookout for this downward channel. Alas, that's the bad side of the equation. What's the good side, Assassino? It's still holding the volume weighted average price, which is around 388. It's got a bunch of buy orders in and around that area, so I'm going to be keeping an eye here on on YYAI. Let's talk about VWAV. This thing is up a prohibitive 185%. It's also got 2 bull flags under its belt, but this one started a little bit earlier, 8:30. That's when the news headline hits. The news headline hits, the algos react. We know the story. It's incumbent upon you to kind of work in with them because they got the volume. So this thing pops up into $5, drops down to 3 1/4. Then the bell rings and all hell again breaks loose to the high side. And now we got a 743 high. The retracement though off that 743 high, so strong, it doesn't even work its way back up down into VWAP, into that 5 1/4, 5 1/3-ish. So here we go again, moving back into $7. That'll make it about a $0.50 off the high of the day. So it's VWAV. Sorry, I spelt that with a smaller letter. Not sure why I put a smaller cap. There we go. VWAV. There it goes again into the 738. 743 is a high. We're 205% here, Adara. I don't know which one to look at. What do you got?
I don't have a small cap, but I do want to let you guys know, keep an eye on ADBE. This is Adobe. Just keep an eye on the market in general. It's less of a note on Adobe and more of a note here on Figma, again, a company that Adobe did try to acquire. FIG is going to be the ticker for this one. Their IPO apparently priced between $30 and $32 per share. According to an SEC filing, we are expecting this IPO later this week. So FIG could figure into your trading plans later this week. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Dara. That reminds me. I gotta log into my stream deck.
Yeah,
the Trump one. You've heard that one, right?
Thank you, Adara.
Yeah.
Well,
I have it over there on that.
We had to send out special for that, bro.
Yeah, of course. We had to make a request. We had to put in a request with the White House.
He wanted a lot of money too for that.
We got a valuable member of the team. We just need you to say thank you for us, for all the news that you do and all the truths that you post. And Dara reads them out. But Nike was one of my top ideas today. Didn't really do what I was looking for here. So not necessarily the best, but beautiful reversion coming in. Look at that. That's definitely a miss on my part, coming all the way back above VWAP. Strong flush, a little bit of a gap up push on. I think it was an upgrade. That's what that was. And 179.99, there was a bit of a sale. And right off of the open, a strong wick candle pulling it all the way to the 77.58s. Didn't really get too involved in this one. I took this wick right here with a little bit of a short. Let's see if I can pull it up and we can look at it together. Nike, let's see if that can just do it right here. 79.64, so okay, it is coming down a little bit. as of, oh no, sorry, it is going up a little bit. So this is pretty much what I did, Sharif, here. Nothing too crazy. I looked for the reversion. It pulled in. Didn't really show me what I was looking for right away. So I did well to get out, and look at that, coming in right, again, to the upside, breaking that high a day and pushing that morning consolidation high as well. Continuation, beautiful stuff happening on Nike as well. But yeah, no, let me know what you guys are trading, and we can take a look at that. I know that Sean was in that AMD, and oh boy, that AMD was quite nice off the open. Another top idea of mine, but ridiculous. I didn't participate at all in that one. That's how it goes sometimes. You know, I got a list of where's my list? Ooh,
where's it at?
Oh, it's right here.
Okay.
Here, I put it in my pocket. All right. Because I have it on. So list of ideas for today. That was last week right here. So I had AMD, Intel, Palantir, SockCell, QS, Comcast, Nike, and Google as a late entrant into the list. And I think I ended up only trading Palantir and Nike, and now a little bit of Google as well. So let's take a quick look at what I did on Palantir. Palantir, man, was so choppy. I saw it off of the open. I was looking at it. I was like looking for potential continuation. And right off of the open, it shows me that, oh boy, yeah. Shows me sellers are in charge right off of the open. VWAP comes in right here. Doesn't really hold above that VWAP. You can see even on the 3-minute candle, just looking at those top wicks, you can just see sellers are in charge, and boom, quadunk right here. Get a little bit lucky with a wipe down, almost $1 down, but coulda, shoulda, woulda stayed in that trade as it just continues to grind a little bit lower. 157, I think 157 and some change was prior day's consolidation lows, and we're coming into some of those levels as of right now. What's up, Adara?
Let you guys know it's a little bit different here at 11:30 a.m. We will be getting a 2-year note auction. So yeah, just wanted to let you guys know these are usually later in the day. In fact, we're going to get a 5-year note auction at 1 p.m., but we do also have this 2-year note auction at 11:30 a.m. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adara. So Lisa was on, you know, I follow a lot of these pods for the fundamentals, not so much the technicals. Yep. So they were, Lisa Su was at the, what's it called? All-in Summit. I'm going to get to my trade on VWAV here in a second, but I want to talk about Lisa Su. Get it, Atero. Whew. So she was at the All-in Summit. She was one of the guests. She was one of the keynote guests with the boys, and she made very clear that AMD will take a margin hit with respect to some of the products that they're making in the United States, specifically at the Arizona fab of Taiwan Semi. But I think the market is really taking that in stride, because she was very, very clear about that and continues to trend up, despite the fact that, you know, margin pressure is going to be there. The nice news about this is you're going to pass it on to hyperscalers, right, who have deep pockets. So you're likely not going to take the margin hit yourself. That's number one. Number two, I think that they're liking the fact that she's going to build domestically because of all the geopolitical benefits that, or the political benefits, I should say, not really geopolitical in this case, that come with that, with pleasing the current administration about building locally. So be on the lookout for that. She did speak about a lot of the newer products that they're going to build at the Arizona fab being a little bit lower margin in terms of how much they're going to make. But I think, again, everybody taking that in stride. Okay, so I paper-handed this trade, but a successful one nonetheless. Literally got bottom wick on VWAV at the 10 EMA on the 5. That was my entry. I can show you exactly what I mean by that. There we go. That's VWAV right here. That's the green line 10 EMA. I put my order for there. It filled. It rockets up. It has some initial selling, though, in the 70s. So we scalp all the way up into 90. But look at this one go. Another high of day, $7.72. There it goes. Big moves up for VWAV. This is up over 200%. I think, in my estimation, this one is setting up better than VAPE. Couple of reasons. One, VAPE probably has a lot of bag holders from the pre-market, given where the price action is coming from. Number two, it's insanely spready and volatile, so you can absolutely get cut up trading VAPE. VWAV, not saying this one's super calm. As you can see, it's moving, 15, 20 pennies at a time, but it's a trade de novo. The volume on this one started coming in at 10 a.m. I'll submit to you, prior to 10, over here, we were below the volume weighted average price. I'm talking about this area over here. That's a black line VWAP. Then we rocket up at about 10 o'clock, and we've been holding VWAP, as you can see, since that time. So VWAV on that good stuff right now. Be careful with this one. Make sure you're picking it up at opportune times. Now, I'm also going to keep my eye on SES. I've been trying to build my position into the volume weighted average price on this and scalping up at the same time. I've posted a couple of orders. I still have an unfilled order here at 136 where I perceive there to be a lot of buying at that $1.36. Adira has breaking news.
I do, as you guys can see, the market's dropping. So I'm going to provide some context first. Financial Times reported probably about half an hour ago that the U.S. was basically potentially going to be lifting these export curbs for China, usually involving chip sales, as, I guess, part of their trade deal plan. Well, now apparently Senate Democrats are opposing the resumption of China chip sales in a letter. We know that a variety of different Senate groups and committees have been not necessarily for the resumption of these China chip sales. We know the House China Committee also had some issues, but now apparently, according to Bloomberg, the Senate Democrats have written a letter opposing resuming China chip sales, dropping the market to the downside. Keep an eye on AMD, keep an eye on NVDA as well. Back to you.
So the Dems don't want to sell the chips.
Oh boy, flip-flops. Yeah, let's see what, Q's got a strong flush on that. So I guess sellers definitely in charge on the day today, coming in right off of the open. And that was a bit of a chop around that 23,500 here on the Nasdaq. And what is this, 64.30 on the ES as well. And breaking that range low coming in now. So I'm not really seeing too much just yet. Google tried that for a potential reversion, and with the market selling coming in, getting stopped out through that day low, and that's perfectly fine. Didn't really have that much size on it because I was like, if this starts to go and starts to work, then and only then do I really want to push into maybe B size as well. But yeah, I wasn't even in C size as well. Do you ever do that? It'd be like starting to grade your trades, being like, okay, well, this one is much better because I see it a little bit more often, and then I'm like, okay. Because I have a calculator that kind of does that for me, because I'm like, okay, for A trades, I want to spend 70% of my daily risk maybe. Or like for B trades, I want to spend 50% of my daily risk. For C trades, I want to spend 10% of my daily risk or something like that. It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. There's a lot of traders that do that, and it's like it's just getting exponential as the grade of the. Wow, what was that just now? That was a beautiful reversion. Oh my God.
I love that. Yeah, that's ALBT. That's the one we were breaking out there. Yeah, but it lost everything, Ob. Yeah.
Sometimes you see some you just you get so distracted. I just saw that.
No, man.
Oh my God,
clearly your eyes
beautiful.
out looking for it, right?
I mean, I'm always looking for that backside, and when I see it, my peripherals pick it up right away. And oh boy, Albert.
Were there
has a really nice
some backsides that you saw
in the
Chicago? Yeah.
Of course, it's a big city. What do you mean?
Well, where did you go to see those backsides?
Well, downtown.
Well, that's very nice. Yeah, okay.
Walking along the river.
But let's tell everybody what we're talking about. You're talking about the backs of buildings, right?
Yeah, of course. Chicago Stock Exchange.
Look, fantastic. The CME, right? Chicago Mercantile Exchange. All the future takes place there. The options traders, all about that. Tell us.
Shout out to the boys that run the M Gate. So. The chat's going wild.
Don't worry about that, bro. Everything's fine. All right. We're having a great time, guys. Is back. And so are all the innuendos. So get ready, baby. All right, here we go. We're doing it live again.
Innuendos.
Yes, of course.
That's why I was clapping, because I've made this pun many a time.
Yeah, no,
innuendos.
All right. Go ahead, Ope. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Okay, so I'm not really saying too much. We did react to that to the China news, I guess, getting bought right back up, wicking back into the lower end of the range. Don't really see too much just yet. Let's see if we can sustain and really hold. I'm watching Google to see if for a potential reversion, but it's still in a very, very clear downtrend. Let me pull up my chart here and let's do some charting, if I can find, dude, I gotta talk to Joe about this, man. This computer is more complicated than the Palantir tape that I was trying to stare down this morning, right? It's like absolutely wild. Like, what am I doing? And I thought I was a little tech savvy, but no, it seems like I am lacking in this multiple desktop, multiple screen kind of thing. Right here.
Neil was displeased.
Yeah,
with
I don't
it
know.
as
Look,
well.
I can't even open my Chrome.
Gotta keep that
I can't open Chrome, and there are no other desktops.
Neil feels so vindicated right now, man.
Neil, you were on here on Friday. What did you do?
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't
it.
know. Joe doesn't like Chrome. It's not that he doesn't
weird.
use Chrome. You can't open Chrome on that PC. It doesn't make any sense, man. And like it was freaking me out. So I was trying to work things. It was. Look, I had some. I won't lie. I had some issues setting myself up on that desk on Friday, and it eventually meant that I just flat out wasn't trading the open like I wanted to because I couldn't get it done. I had to switch things around and make some adjustments. But I don't know why Chrome doesn't work on that PC. But Joe has it, and this is the thing. Joe has it set up how he likes it. And at the end of the day, that's what a trader's responsibility is. So you just got to be able to adjust. But if you didn't prepare to set up early, I know it can be frustrating, but just make sure you have a comfortable trading situation for everyone out there. It does matter. All jokes aside, why he doesn't like Chrome, I don't know. But all jokes aside, you want to make sure that you have the tools for your style of trading set up the way you want so you're comfortable. That way you're not worrying about the things you can control. You can't control the market, but you can control your own preparation. Good luck using Microsoft Edge. Get it.
Yeah,
Obi.
thank you, Neil, for that. Yeah, no, I'm. You know what's weird? It's even the P Pro on this computer. Like I said, I'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Oh, I gotta cover this because it's in the breakout right now. Okay, guys, VWAV is going absolutely buck wild. Here it is, guys. Look. It's very range per candle wide, but what's really the most important thing here are the higher lows, and we have been putting in higher lows on every successive 5-minute candle. Alas, we are putting in an ugly topping tail candle. We're $1 south of that topping tail candle. Be on the lookout. Even though this is a topping tail candle, it still has a higher low. 866 high. Punched in at 742, added on the break of 769, scalped out all the way into about 8.25. Keep your eye out on this one. It is an 866 high, but coming down aggressively now. VWAV on the NQ. It's up 222, 223%. It's got a good look to it, but insanely volatile. So it feels like it might be the week. Who knows? But you know, it's a nice way to start a Monday. You got VAPE going 10,000 and 72%. I don't know what it went. I'm just exaggerating for effect as I typically do. And then you have WAVE as well, zigging and zagging. Fat Albert lost, he lost some weight there and dropped below VWAP again. Sorry about that. So we're going to keep an eye out on these ones, okay? Just trade them carefully. I don't care if I sound like a broken record. I'm going to say it every single time. I feel responsible trading these very volatile names on the show to tell you guys every single time they are around for a good time and not a long time. Do not be holding these thinking they are Apples, Microsofts, etc. They will break your heart very, very quickly, okay? So having said that, let's keep an eye out on this one. What are the levels for this? I'm watching psychological support for 7, but before I even talk about 7, I'm looking for a lower low on the current 5-minute candle setup. We don't have any lower lows on the 5-minute setup since essentially the doji candle at 1055. It would be this one over here, okay? So everything else has been kosher since that time, so we'll keep an eye out on that. I don't want to keep talking about the same thing. STEM as well, STEM. It's got a good look to it over here. Are you a fan of the of pushing our youth into the STEM path of things?
I was pushed into the STEM path of things, and I think you know what? If that's what you really like, I think you should definitely go for it. But pushing is definitely subjective. I think that you should always encourage children to be like, all right, what are your strengths and what can you pursue relative to your strengths, and then support them in any sort of way, I think. But pushing into STEM, sure, it's great, dude. But it's like I think that era is gone
because of AI.
Not necessarily, but it's like I'm more, I guess, business oriented now. I'm just like you can either take like 8 years of school, or maybe 4 years of school, or you
Sure.
can try to start a business really early in something that you do have an interest in, right? And use those young years, take those risks. No, but here's the thing:
the
to do
technical
something well,
Yeah.
you need to put in all your time.
Sure.
Right?
but
Dude, there are
you need
guys
technical
who
knowledge.
started car detailing businesses, friends that I know, at 18, 19, didn't
Yep.
go to university or college, and they're making well above 6 figures.
Fantastic.
So it's like if at the end, and they're living a happy life.
But
you know what I mean?
not
It's
everybody
like,
can
No,
do
of course,
that.
not everybody can do that.
What I'm trying to
but
say is, if you want to start like a technical, like a product, wouldn't it be good to have the technical expertise to build it, and then you have the business expertise to sell it?
Sure, but here 100%.
You know what I'm
right?
saying?
You obviously still have to learn. It doesn't mean that you should not educate yourself.
Yes.
You should 100% educate yourself. What I'm saying is you don't need to go and pay a business and pay a university
Fair.
or whatever to get a piece of paper saying that, okay, you know your stuff.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
I
You have
respect
GPT. Literally the knowledge of the whole world is right here in your hands.
Straight up.
So if you really
Straight
want
up.
it, put in the time and learn what you need to learn to do what you need to do. Right? And sure, certain things take certifications, certain things takes checks and balances, and that's perfectly fine, right? If that's part of the path, then so be it, right?
Adara,
But I don't really believe in pushing people for one thing or the other.
I got
that's not
to
my thing.
respect that. I got to respect that. But I think some kids are stupid and they need to be pushed. Sorry. Adara, go ahead.
What a debate there. Yeah, I mean, first, I'll talk here about PayPal to start our crypto segment, because PayPal has a crypto-related catalyst. This morning, they launched their very aptly named Pay with Crypto feature. So basically, the goal of this is apparently to simplify cross-border commerce for merchants. Really, they're focusing on the merchant aspect of this. So it'll basically allow payment here with a variety of cryptocurrencies, digital wallets, and merchants, and it'll actually reduce transaction fees by up to 90%. Apparently, this will allow merchants to be connected to a more than $3 trillion crypto market. This can be just instant crypto, to stablecoin, or flat conversion. So again, if you want to buy something internationally, then it can basically automatically convert through this Pay with Crypto feature, and that can reduce costs for merchants. So interesting look there for PYPL. Here's the 5-minute chart on Bitcoin. Lovely double bottom here at that 17.9 level. Let's see if we can break that past the most recent obvious lower high. That would be that 118.6. Right now we're about 200 points away. Let's take a look here at XRP USD. XRP also looking kind of similar, but a slightly higher low this time for XRP. Again, we're just going to use the 5 minutes for right now. Here's Ethereum. Ethereum making an even better bounce, but again, maybe running into some resistance at the previous support level around 3.8. So, guys, right now the name of the game is all these crypto names looking fairly strong after bouncing off lows, but it's worth noting to wait and see what they're going to do with these previous levels of resistance and support. Back to you.
Yes. So I asked Joe this the other day, and I said, Joe, look, you're a crypto guy. I'm in Bitcoin. I'm thinking about weaseling into ETH, maybe long term, just kind of buy it and forget it sort of thing. But if I was to punch in to one of these meme coins, altcoins, let's call them whatever, okay, so we don't offend anybody, the non-traditional, not the Solanas, not your XRPs, not your Bit or ETH. Which one would you recommend I punch? I know obviously it's never financial advice on this show. Just want everybody to know. What do you think is the best out there? Like the Shibas, the Doges. What's your look?
Honestly, like there's a lot of speculative coins and I guess meme coins and altcoins and things like that. If you want my honest opinion, I think if you look at some of the technicals, then yeah, some of those coins can be very lucrative in the short term as you can capture some of those moves. You know, Dogecoin as well. I remember early on getting into Doge as it was breaking out like a 5-penny level, and I bought at the 7-cent level, and then it went up to, I think it was 50 to 70 pennies as well. So taking some of those action and looking at that build up and seeing that volume increase. And I think same kind of technicals. You want to see consolidations that are building up. You want to see trends. You want to get with the trend. But to be honest, the biggest meme of them all is Bitcoin.
Well, yeah, you're going to go down that road. I get that. I get that.
Here's the thing.
I just don't want to classify it.
No, I understand. But
I see what you're saying.
Bitcoin is probably the best choice. If you're gonna get into something over time, then DCAing on BTC dips probably makes the most sense. To me, but in terms of meme coins, they can be all over the place. We saw how some of these crazy moves can happen. Fart coin as well. We hear
now
Moss
you're talking my language,
yeah,
bro. I was waiting for you to tell me.
Yeah,
fart
you can
coin.
smell that one coming, dude. You can see the build up. You can see the run up.
Do you think it catches any wind under its sails there? You
Bro,
know what I mean? Like
talk
maybe
about
hot air
tailwind.
too? The tail. So good. It's so good. Tailwind. Fantastic. Oh, you're killing it today. Remember I said I put all my money. I'm going to have to distribute some of my money now. I'm going to have to put a little on black, a little on red, just so I can even everything else. So that when this competition finally manifests between you and Adara, I can at least have one of these winners. Sorry, Adara. I mean, I know you're really good. I have no question about that. But, you know, Ob's dropping some funny ones today, so we got to give him a little credit here. All right, here's what we're seeing right now, guys, in meme coin land. If we can show Doge, so you see Doge taking number 8 spot there, or yeah, number 8. Then you have Shiba, Pepe, there's Bonk, Pudgy Penguins. Okay, kind of mean. Why are they pudgy? And don't body shame them like that. That's really me. There's official Trump. There's Fart Coin, number 70. We got Floki, Dog with Hat, Mog Coin. What else we got? Meme coin, ape coin.
SPX 6900.
Where's that one?
Number 52.
52.
Check out
There
that
we
one
go.
there.
69?
Yeah.
Immediately buying.
Look at the trend on that one.
Look at that. Yeah, that's actually a hell of a trend, though.
It's a nice trend. I know a few people who are involved with this one, and again, technicals working out nicely on that one.
Technicals are fantastic. Yeah. I mean, it's bucking the trend, quite frankly. Yeah, useless coin as well, bucking the trend.
Boy.
Look at this. Fantastic. Some of these names, man, I don't even know to tell you about.
Was that Popcat? Popcat is the only feline she
Don't be
wants.
rude. Oh. Oh,
you remember that?
Popcat, of
Yeah,
course.
Popcat.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
come
you
on.
killed that. The only man she want. The only man she want. Man, I love soca, man. It's been a hot minute. Anyway.
Yeah, there hasn't been a banger track like that in a minute. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Haven't really been on the soca scene.
Remember Rupee, man?
Oh yeah.
I went to that Rupee concert
What was his,
back in the
what was
day,
his
man.
most famous song?
There's
Rupee
so
was,
many, man.
The one that
So
like
many.
everybody talks about. I can't remember, man. My memory
There's
is
a lot.
absolutely
A lot, Ob.
garbage.
Garbage. That's
yeah.
dance hall, says soca. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, there's some dance hall, a little bit of soca there.
You know who Coffee is?
Remind
Coffee
me
with
again.
the K. K-O-F.
Yeah. I haven't heard stuff from him in a hot minute though.
It's a girl.
It's okay. Well,
No, she's definitely got bars. She's a Jamaican artist.
Okay.
And yeah, she's pretty
that.
good. Neil knows about Coffee. The
Neil,
artist?
you know about Coffee, the artist?
Coffee? Yeah, of course.
There you go. You went to her concert?
Ramin went to her concert. Yeah, let's go. That's sick.
Did you
What's
dress
your
up
favorite
like
song
that?
from her, Ramin? Okay, all right. Do you know? Can you sing it for us then? You said she said don't ask for a name, so I was like, can you sing it for us?
Ram, did you go dressed up like that? Bro, I have
Fighting
to.
words.
Like bro, come on. I'm not supposed to pretend like I didn't notice her dressing up today. She comes in. Ram. Who are you kidding there, girl? All right, we're having a great time. Shout out to Jay Lee.
We are not going to acknowledge that super chat.
Oh, why? That. I'm seeing so fire. Oh. Oh, that's fantastic right there. Send me that, Fabian. Oh my God, Fabian. He's always making these, man. Picky eater, throwing punches at Ram. Look, man, I mean, what do you want me to do there? I breathe, I come into work, and I poke fun at Ram. She's really good back, though. Like, trust me, she can punch back. Nobody needs to worry about her. She's got the responses ready to go there. Shout out to Ram. What are you looking at, Ob? Anything catching your attention?
I'm waiting, I'm stalking, I'm hunting. I got back into this Google here just a little bit as it came down right into 191s. You can see the market bought that flush right back up. So I'm like, all right, so maybe it's time for a little bit of a bounce. I don't really have my market view up right now because again, I got to work with what I have. I'm gonna try to set it up properly for tomorrow. But I think I can do well with what I have going on as of right now. But yeah, let's take a quick look at some of these volume leaders on the day and see what they're up to. I'm looking for the next trade. So if you guys see anything setting up, where's the next reversion? Where's the next breakout? Where's the next opportunity? That's what I'm continuously asking. I'm watching this Nike here at the same time. Open door, hello. Oh boy, looking a little bit like Palantir here. Let's do a quick comparison right here. Oh boy, PLTR, here we go. Look at that, see, Palantir and Open Door looking relatively similar as sellers step in on the day. So that chart, I was just like, okay, yeah, Open looking really, really good here. Why does it keep doing this? It keeps on disconnecting me here. But LiDAR, okay, I didn't really see that one in the morning, but it seems like that one's been moving around, a bit of a flush down. So that looks like it might have been news here on LiDAR as well. So AI Inc. is the name of that stock. VIX, or no, VWAV. Here, continuing to push higher. I know you're definitely looking at this one and involved in this one. So yeah, third top volume leader on the day, Sharif.
Crazy.
And SMX, security matters apparently, but sideways is the price action right now. NVIDIA, I was looking at that 175, and oh boy, if you looked at that 175 as a bit of a failure to follow through, it's been making fresh highs almost every day, but strong selling coming in off of that chip catalyst as well. But Sharif, it gets bought right back up. So yeah, this market, you just gotta notice that every single aggressive dip keeps on getting bought up. Just a few months ago, we were like, oh, are we gonna come back down to those lows? You know, but April, I think the president told us.
Well, he said buy. He did.
I mean, he wasn't wrong.
Man.
He wasn't wrong. So,
and he didn't tell one of us. He said basically to everybody.
He told the whole world.
Conflict stuff there, yeah.
He told the whole world. He said it's a great time to buy.
It's
regardless of whether you thought it was or not, I think that the trend breaks, the consolidations, the reversions that came in off of that April bid are coming in quite nicely. You can see a lot of stocks pushing those all-time highs.
Oh, I got to cover this. Sorry, D-Wave's breaking out, guys. We got the $0.50. This thing's popping through 8 right now. Aggressive buy again, guys. Off the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. Sorry to interrupt you, Ob. I just got to cover this as it breaks out. Now we're going to wait at the $0.25 for the next out. We've had trouble with 8, okay? I get the high of the day is 866, but have a gander at the closing prints of every 5-minute candle. None has closed through 8. So the short sellers, the profit takers, they're very cognizant of that, and they're doing their thing at $8. Okay, here we go again. I'm just trying to pack my patience here for an 8 break. I don't want to paper hand this trade, but I know very well the seller at 8 is pretty staunchy. There again, we go through 8, and again we're unable to clear it. So guess what? Any print below that $0.50 gets me out of this trade. So let's go ahead and throw that all the way down. We're going to give this one room in case we lose the bid there. So I've put in my stop right now on WAVE. We've been in this a bunch of times. Right now, let's see if we can continue to take out some levels. I'm waiting at the $0.25, 8.25, but it's, again, I keep repeating myself, but the issue is it's having trouble with 8. And now there's a short seller or profit taker posting on the gateway. Prior to that, we had basically hidden orders, iceberg orders at that $8 level. You didn't see anything on the gateway. There it is, 10, 15. All right, can we get continuity through the $0.25? Again, profit taking and again, aggressive selling into 8. Can't really push up right now, so we're zigging and zagging with the low $8 and we lose 8 again. So having a lot of trouble clearing this level. I'm going to pack my patience. I'm going to either get stopped out or I'm going to take profit at the $0.25. It's going to be one or the other. I won't flatten out. I just won't. So let's see what we get here. Hands off the keyboard. The stop is in place. The profit taker is in place. We're showing 13s again here on the level 2. That's where the seller's been coming in. In fact, it's been, I want to say the high teens. So I'm looking at the 5-second chart. As you guys know, I've been using the 5-second chart to spot areas of support and resistance on the very intra-day time frame. And their seller is coming in, I want to say 16s, 17s, and 18s. It actually hasn't gone up into 20s. That's the bad side of the equation. But when I look at it further, we're still putting in higher lows. Okay, so that means to me that the buyers are sort of still in control. And there we go up into 18s again. And we're getting selling at 18 again. Can we cross? We can't cross into the 20s. Now we just showed 20s momentarily with some aggressive selling coming in at that level. So here, take it or leave it, man. I'm not flattening out. I just will not do it. And bang, Gobi, we get it at the quarter dollar. There it is, man. Into the quarter dollar there.
Right here.
Big move up, Joe. Ob on WAVE. This one is a good one. Keep your eye out on this one. It's very aggressive and can give you, trouble and pleasure. So be careful with this one. Now, the last one that I've got on here, I'm still waiting for a 136 add on SES. This will be the make or break point here for SES. It will have to hold up the volume weighted average price. Otherwise, I want nothing to do with it. It's a 145 high. I'm into it because it looks like a bull flag consolidation. And if that is the case, then it's incumbent upon me to try to pick up the low end of the consolidation of the component of the bull flag for the eventual possible breakout of said bull flag to the high side. So that's my move right now on SES. Otherwise, I'd probably steer clear of it at this level, but we're already involved. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on right now. We're going to keep an eye out on VWAV, SES. And then there's some others, as I mentioned, obviously. Let's bring them in. Remind everybody what we're looking at. Finger, FNGR is dropping into VWAP. There is a buyer, at least from the pre-market at 210. That's a couple of shekels below VWAP, which is at 215. Be on the lookout for a 210 buyer on Finger. Fat Albert's going to lose its spot any moment now on the side chart. If I can replace it with a better one, ALBT is a mean reversion trade extraordinaire. YYAI is also holding on by a thread. It's going to have to work its way back above the volume weighted average price. Otherwise, I'll remove it from the side chart. And NEGG, this one is a holdover or second day play. Look at what it did on Friday, guys. Big move up, but as we saw on Friday, that big move up was followed by, I don't want to say an equally big move down. It wasn't. It retraces about 2/3, a little bit more than half of the gain. Right now, it's not even breaking down below VWAP. So it's a bit more expensive than it was on Friday. Friday started out its life at 31.25. Today, it's got a high of 42. It's awfully very spready as well. Be on the lookout for that. And then VAPE, man. I mean, I'm not going to trade VAPE likely, guys, because it has to get above $172 to fit my rules. Only 2 rules for these small cap gappers: above the pre-market high and above VWAP. It's above VWAP, so clears one of the 2. Maybe it would be a good idea to create an exception for some of my rules for some of these high flyers, but it's not going to be right now, where I just make the exception on the fly. And then STEM, as Oba and I were joking earlier, STEM. This one has got a bull flag forming right now. I'm a buyer here, likely at VWAP 8.25, maybe 8 1/3 if I want to front run it. And that's it, guys. Everything else is kind of given up the ghost just a little. We'll keep an eye, obviously, on all these ones. WAVE, W-A-V-E, chief among them.
Yeah, no, I just realized that, just like you said earlier, hotkeys are extremely important. And for some reason on this setup, my hotkeys are not set up. So I don't know. Do you want to set them up together?
Actually, I would.
Are we allowed to do that, Neil? Can we set up some hotkeys on the screen?
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
No?
Okay, cool.
I don't think
All right, Shreve, let's set up some hotkeys right here. So let me pull up the keyboard, and I like my Frex. I like my Frex. So right here, these are just
tell everyone what
right
that
here.
means.
So Frex is just Frex is well, I don't know what Frex really is, but it basically crosses and fills you in any and every date available, and you can give it a bit of a cross. So right away, let's see. I always forget what I'm doing, but yeah, I got Memex, Bats, Arca, Edge A, Nicey. We got some other ones here as well. So if you're gonna do this along with me, we can do this together. So I'm just gonna set up my.
Let me do it with you right now.
Yeah. So pull up that. I know you've been saying this for quite a while.
Oh, I tried and I couldn't find the way to do it where I can put in a specific share amount. So
you have to use the tilde to constantly, because especially if you're using Frex.
Thank you.
If you're using Frex, then you have to resize depending on whatever your default.
Interesting. Okay.
Right? So when I'm using my remove liquidity key, that's basically Frex. I'm resizing constantly, being like, okay, I want to get in this much, I want to get out this much.
Okay.
Whatever. So let's see. Okay. So control. Let's go with Shift F1 first. That's going to be my. I think I do it as that's my. Let's go with a buy. So I'm going to go with here. So at first, you want to pick Nasdaq as the market.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So Nasdaq. So this is only going to be for Nasdaq stocks. In the gateway, you want to scroll down and find your Frex. So there's the Frex right there.
Okay.
I'm going to click on this Shift F1 column right here.
Yeah.
Shift F1, buy Frex limit. I can go far, and then here, price
That's the
adjust.
offset, right?
Yeah, and then I can be like, buy, I can be like 0.15. So that
15
means
penny
I'm
offset.
crossing far 15 pennies. So I'm taking out whatever in the 15 pennies into the ask, right? Okay, cool. And then we'll do control.
Can we just tell everybody why you're doing that, just for the newer traders? So he's doing that. He's putting a 15 penny offset is because the spread may not let him in. So what he's saying to the computer is pay up to 15 pennies more than the posted limit order that I said. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So whatever the level 1 is showing as the ask, it's going to cross into it 15 pennies.
Got it.
Right. So if you want to remove some of the book, this is a great key to use as well. So that's the buy. Let's set up the sell, and the sell is the same thing. It's set up here already, and here we can just go to minus 15 cents into the bid.
Because this is a sell order now.
Yes.
Yeah, so it has to be minus. Yeah, this is good to know.
You can do far here. I think I'm doing it right. I got to check. We'll see. We'll see how it does. But okay, so now those keys, removing liquidity keys are set up. So anyone out there using P8 as their system, hopefully you benefit from a little bit of this here. So let's see if we can do that on Google here. So let me just resize. And right here, so buying, see, price adjust right there.
Sir.
And here it'll tell you shares.
Got it.
Right? So then I can be like, all right, I want to maybe buy a little bit more into the Google, crossing 15 pennies. And then I just hit enter, and then that's the ad right there. So that's the Frex key. So if you also want instant keys, you can there's a checkbox for order confirmation. Okay. So it's like if I just press F1, it'll instantly get me in. I don't have to press enter or anything like that. So, but yeah, I know you've been wanting to do that for the longest time. Hopefully that helped.
So can I just say one thing before we get to the next thing? So for me, what I'm looking to set up I'm not going to do it now, but what I'm looking to set up my hotkeys as size related. So I want a default entry. So say I'm getting 100 shares as my default entry. So if I hit Control 1, I want it to buy 100 shares. Okay?
Yeah.
And then now I want to start scalping because you know my small cap gappers. They're super quick and they don't hang out for very long in any one area, right? So say I want to sell 20 shares. I want a Control 2 with the offset of 5 pennies. Control 2 or Shift 2, I want to get the hell out of 20 shares quick without hitting 20 shares, enter. So it would not be confirming the order. And that's where I've had trouble. I know there's a way to do it because Arun did show me how to do it before. So I just got to go back and set that up. So when I complain, because a lot of people have heard me complain about this, it's my bad. It's not P8. It's because I haven't gone and set it up.
So I don't know how to specifically do that through the keys, but one workaround could possibly be having 2 books open and then setting the default to 1 book at 100 shares, and then setting the other book to 20 shares.
That's actually smart.
Enter using 1 book and you exit using the other.
Actually smart,
you just have to click and then press. So that's a good workaround for them. So if you have defaults preset to the level 2 in the order book, you can be like, all right, 1 lot entries, 20 share outs. So that's one way to work around that.
It's not a bad idea at all, actually. You can use that a little bit to your advantage as well. Yeah. So we can look further into that. I know we can talk to Neil about it. I know Wayne is pretty good with his keys as well. But crazy, bro.
That's
really good at it. Guys, I just want to shout this out. Shout out to Fabian for creating this, guys. We need you guys voting every single day. You can vote from basically 8:30 all the way up until the afternoon rundown starts at around 2. Get into the chat right now. Vote for your favorite tickers every day. Tesla's leading the bunch right now with 69 votes. Make sure to get those up. Second place, AMD and NVIDIA literally tied with each other right now at 37. There goes AMD with one more vote. So get into the chat. Vote for your favorite tickers, throw in that $sign, followed by a 3, 4, or 5-letter ticker. That's all you got to do, baby. Automatically adjusts and automatically registers your vote. So nothing more that you need to do with respect to that. Thank you, everybody, for voting. We really appreciate it. Obviously, it goes without saying that it really does help the channel. Not only because it helps us focus on what you guys want to see, but obviously it helps with engagement. Guys, VAPE well, it's smoking back up to the upside over here. And here we're up 700. I need to put some context. We're 715% in the green,
Okay.
Yet we're off, 58.5% off the pre-market high.
Beautiful.
Okay.
50% reversion. Classic.
Yeah, isn't that great? I love it. I love it. All right, here we go. We have a new high of day. No, we don't. I lied. It's $77. That's a high a day. We just got into 75. It does feel like that this area here could attack that high a day at 77. It's moving dollars at a time, guys. So VAPE, be careful. But it's got that beautiful rounded bottom off a very, very, I don't want to say predictable, but a lot of people know about this, the volume weighted average price. It held VWAP like a glove with all the closing prints, essentially. From the 1055 5-minute candle onwards, every closing print has been at or above the volume weighted average price with an attempt here to clear 75. Now, what happened when we weaseled up into 75 before, we were met with aggressive selling. You saw it over here at this candle, and you saw it again over here at the 1045 candle. Let's see if we can clear 75 and make that 77 high day break on the way to 80. So VAP, certainly one to watch over here. I'm unlikely to trade it just because it likely won't get above the pre-market high, but that doesn't mean you can't. If you're wondering why I'm saying that, I've got 2 rules. I won't trade the small cap gappers unless and until they clear the pre-market high and they're trading above the volume weighted average price. It just helps my setup with the reliability of the setup. That's kind of why I do that. So I'm keeping my eye on that one. We'll cover it for you because I'm sure a lot of people will want to hear about it. Despite the fact that I won't be trading it. The Finobachi trader, Sharif. We like them rounded bottoms. Don't let Big Spow hear you. He'll chime in and he'll come with a very inappropriate super chat that we'll be forced to read. Be careful. So here we go. SES finally finding some support here off the volume weighted average price. I'm waiting to wet the beak. At 40s, it's at 40 right now, but alas, it's not crossing. So just be on the lookout for that. It's not the most exciting trade, SES, but I've worked my way into it as well. Shout out to my other pair of eyes. His name is Bhavin Patel, PFSA at HOD, PFSA. Say less, Bhavin. We're loading it up anyway. Where's my chart at? Bring it in over here. Show yourself, PFSA. Okay, so this is an IPO from the 14th of September. Calm down, bro. Of July. So we've been obviously selling off quite aggressively since then. Today, if we end up closing near the highs or anywhere above $1, this will be the best day that PFSA has had since going public. Let's flip to the 5 so we can get a gander at what the what's it called? The intraday time frame looks like. It's a $1.50 high right now. Is this sparsely traded or is it just me? How many? No, it's done. It's done to about almost 21 million shares here. But just why are the range per candle so wide and why are there gaps between the candle? Like what the hell's happening over here? So PFSA seems to be quite illiquid for a dollar name, and it's done quite a bit of shares. So I'm going to keep my eye out on this one, Bhavin. Let's see if it maintains its price above the volume weighted average price. But there goes SES to the high side, taking out a whole bunch of my orders. Now I'm waiting at 43. It's already showing me 43 here on the level 2, but it has to cross. So a good hold. And there goes VAPE. This one's pumping to the high side again. Show yourself, VAPE. Dang it.
Show yourself.
I know. I get it's all anticlimactic because I can't even load it up. There it is. It's an 80, 81 high now on VAPE. It's cleared the the official high of the day, which was 77. But if you don't have pre-market price action on your charts, make sure to activate it because you need to see where this one was coming from. It's more like $173. We're still about $100. Give or take off the high, more like 90 and change now, but it's an 80, 81 high now, OB, on VAPE. It's up a prohibitive 780%, as I was telling Obi not that long ago. We're still almost 60% off the highs, and this thing is almost back into quadruple digit territory. So good luck here for VAPE, but goodness gracious, trade it carefully. Peter Mosbeck. I use the control number pad keys to buy and sell. Example, number pad 1 for buying 20 shares, number pad 7 for selling 20 shares, number pad 2 buy 20. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. In fact, I actually have one of those keyboards at my house, those ones that you can create your own keys. I can just bring it in here and set it up. I could do that, but I just haven't done that, but I will. Thank you for pointing that out. Just looking at some of the other comments over here. Yeah, Peter just continuing his comment. I appreciate that, Peter. Thank you. So we're going to keep an eye out on all these ones, but it is now time to send you to Adara at we're going to Neil first. Okay, so we're going to Neil for his lesson of the day.
Yes, sir. Lesson of the day brought to you by Top 1 Futures, everybody. If you're looking to trade the futures like the Nasdaq, SPY, even Bitcoin, Top 1 Futures is one of the fastest growing prop firms out there. They give traders the chance to manage up to $1 million in capital. Pick your path, instant funded, challenge, or pro account, and start trading your way to real payouts and even a live account. In the last 90 days alone, they've paid out over $10 million and earned 1,000 plus 5-star reviews from real traders. Use the discount code TTV to save on any account. Scan the QR code or head to top1futures.com and start trading toward your next payout. And one way that you can move toward your next payout is to observe the overall trend, the overall theme of a given stock that you are looking to engage in. And I'm going to use a couple of examples here. One of them being Alphabet. Because you can see Alphabet's not having a good day. Down 1% into a somewhat green market, up a third, 0.2, 0.7%. But when you zoom out and look at the daily chart, okay, we're in uptrend. So why are you surprised that it's down, Neil? What are you talking about following the trend? How's the trend going to help you on the daily when it's upward trending and it's down today? Well, when I look at these trend lines that it's been following on Alphabet on the daily, right here, all the way through here, on earnings, we failed a breakout above the trend line. And then what happened? We held on Friday, the topping tail wick at the trend line. Today at the open, we failed a break of that prior wick and the top of the trend line. So what is happening is after earnings, it tried to go, and then it resumed resistance at the top. So yes, it's in an upward trend, but unfortunately, it is at the top of the trend line where it has reversed. So there you can have a bias, and don't get me wrong, I like the long off 191 too, so I'm trying it myself. But if you're looking at it at the open, it's rejecting the top. And when it does that, you're thinking some kind of a pullback. And where else have we seen this before? One of the best upward trending stocks you could find in the market, Palantir. Very similar. Higher highs, higher lows. But what happened at the open? At the open, it failed the break at 160, which is also a fail to get through the top of the trend line. So it opens above and immediately at that theoretical resistance, because it's not like a supporter resistance where you've got a brick wall and it hits the same high over and over again. This is a trend top. So when you see it fail under that trend top, it becomes a trend for the day trade back into the downside. But that's not the only way that you can observe that overall trend or pattern zooming out and give yourself a bias or entry. The other way to look at it is a stock that's stair-stepping. Now, there's no, I could draw you a trend line like I did before and do something like this with SMCI and then try to connect some dots, something like that, and tell you that it's breaking out the top. Okay, great, that's not what I'm gonna get at here, but yes, it also works. From the point at which you make the bottom, you've held the bottom, and now you're breaking away from that channel. No, with this stock, it's a little bit different for me. This is the stair-step game, where once it breaks out, it finds the prior level, holds resistance, breaks out again, holds the prior level, breaks out. This time it barely had any chance to hold the prior level, takes another breakout here off 54. And when it enters the new phase, it's attempting to make a new top. So your bias is just to the long side on SMCI because it's going into a new territory. Now, ultimately, you still want to come up with an execution strategy that fits the lower time frame. It could be, in my case, well, you could have a breakout, but that's not even what I did. It was just a volume. It was just a pullback into the volume-weighted average price. You still have to find yourself an execution strategy. But that higher time frame look of either the trend line sometimes might give you a signal that even though it's trending up, you could have a pullback kind of day if it fails a certain level. Think about Palantir, think about Alphabet as well. But then you also have a situation where a stock is stair-stepping to the upside on the daily, like in SMCI, where when it makes the new break, doesn't even matter what the catalyst is, hey, it's in the new price area, I'm favoring longs until it makes some new top, and when it does make a new top, I'm gonna like the longs back into that prior high. It just gives you a bit of an edge to have a structure on the daily chart or a weekly chart, if you're a swing trader, that you can then bring down to give you a directional bias on that day. Sometimes it'll provide you with a level, but certainly it can give you an idea of what direction you're favoring. If something happens at the open, you're locked and loaded and ready to go. Palantir, a trend up stock, gives you an opportunity to have a short idea in an upward trending stock so long as it didn't break out. Obviously, it could have broken out like SMCI did, but it didn't. It failed at the open. And it was the same thing with Google. Obviously, Alphabet could have broken that trend line and resumed higher, but it didn't. It failed the trend line, so then you favor the short. And that's what you have to do. You have to find some way to like a direction first, zoom out, maybe you find a trend line, maybe you find that structured stair step to give you a bit of an edge. There's your lesson of the day. Good luck, everybody, in the rest of your trading. And go vape, I guess. Whatever that thing is.
It's a great time. Yeah, I know. Anil. Yeah, Neil,
Sorry, I was muted. Go vape. That's not a great message. You're condoning vaping, Neil?
Come on, Neil.
I thought you were better than that.
I know.
Exactly.
I was about to say that to you. I'm like,
That's
you
why.
picked the worst time, Neil.
Vaping can be
It's halted
unhealthy.
down.
You have to watch out for the halt down.
Okay, let's tell everybody it's halted
God,
down, guys.
Google.
69.47. The halt time 2:03:05. So the way this works is you add waves of 5 minutes onto that. Volatility halts come in waves of 5. So the first time it can be open is 2:08:05. But it doesn't have to be just 5. It can be 10, 15, 20, and then. So that's one thing you need to look for. The other thing, you need to keep your eye on this. Every system is going to have it in different areas. The TAP, the theoretical auction price, currently showing 66. So we're halted 69.47, so we're almost $3 below the current TAP. So that's the other thing you need to keep into account. I had something else to say, but I completely forgot. So I'll just jog my memory. I'll remember. I'll mention it again. What the hell was it? Oh, yeah. So the TAP is basically an auction that takes place, pairs buy orders with sell orders while it's halted. If there's an imbalance one way or the other, here it is. How's this thing open? Oh, it's 2:08. All right, here we go. So as Ob was mentioning to me when Neil was dropping his lesson of the day, if vape continues to hold trend despite being halted down, in my estimation, holding trend here requires a holding of either the 10 EMA or VWAP. I'm going to say the 10 EMA. The 10 EMA is already holding. I can see that the buying right now is ahead of the 10 exponential moving average, which is just loosely in the 67.30s. Here it is. It's breaking up into 70. It's going to halt here. No, that was a false halt. Okay, excuse me. I just saw 70 and change. So keep your eye out on this one. What I'm looking for is a holding of trend. Now, obviously, the 10 EMA, Yeah, it's breaking back into 70 again, Hero. So I'm just trying to watch to see where the selling is coming in. The selling is coming in ahead of the 70s a little bit here. So VAPE on that good stuff right now. Keep your eye on it. And I want to also mention VWAV breaking out again into 915. This one's got all gas, no brakes, VWAV. Up 275%. Keep your eye on this one. And last but not least, I got out a bunch of my entries here on my friend SES as this one punched in through the almost into the high of the day at 745, and essentially at the high of the day right now. There is selling coming into 145, not 745, excuse me. I've got 36s on at the moment. I've layered my orders into 48. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on right now, guys. Very strong day for the small cap. Zion Lala, V-Wave, ladies and gentlemen, we are taking non-stop flight to higher altitude. There's my guy.
Oh, no way. You guys have that now?
You want that?
Yeah,
I'll put that on yours in a minute. Yes, sir. We've had that for a hot minute.
I love that. Let's go. That's epic. Epic meme. Definitely one that again, was used on the floor multiple times. Oh, yeah. I think Greg was the one who told me about it initially. So shout out to Greg.
How's he doing? Have you heard anything from him?
He's good. I went. Yeah, he's still there.
Nice, man.
I went to a what do you call my first Jays game.
Oh yeah.
My first sporting event ever. When he was back in town, I think it was a few weeks ago or a couple of months ago. But yeah, it was pretty good. He's doing well. He's living life, enjoying
girl
life.
still studying out there?
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Nice, bro.
So
Good to hear.
He's working out there. He's chilling.
Hell of a guy, bro.
Yeah.
Hell of a
great
guy. One of my straight shooter.
Oh yeah.
Just tells you in between the eyes exactly what he thinks and what it is, and there's no sugarcoating there.
Yeah, I miss getting yelled at by him.
Yeah, I love it. You would. Okay, so what happened was, look, if you're a trader on the floor, you got a little crazy. There was the podcast room back there. Now it's the podcast room. It used to be the chill room. We had PS2, we had a couch, a TV, everything back there. You got taken into that room and the door would close in front of everybody. So everybody knew what was going on. If Greg called you and you walked into that podcast room and the door closed behind you, everybody had a firm understanding of what was happening. You were getting risked. You were getting the talking to, so to speak. So that's just the way it is, man. It's a prop floor. It's not your money. So get ready.
It wasn't bad at all. It's just like it's like, all right, dude, like what are you really doing? What was the plan? Why are you spending so much risk? We all kind of go through that, and shout out to Greg for keeping us all in check. But yeah, no, he's doing well here. So yeah, Google. I'm taking a couple stabs at Google here. The market did come down a little bit. Oh boy, that's an aggressive bid back in. I kind of stopped out a little bit, but I'm glad I got that Frex key working, Sharif, because yeah, no, it's helping me move around and be a little bit more nimble and take the trades that I'm looking to take. Right now, current day low on goggles is 190.85s. Let's see if we can break this downtrend, man. This is what I'm looking at right here. If we kind of show these lower lows and lower highs a little bit better. It's the same chart right here. So, but with the white background, I still have to change these windows to white. But let's take a quick look at this one right here. So, lower highs and lower lows currently on Google, trending to the downside still underneath VWAP, showing us that sellers are definitely a little bit more in control. And you can see that on the market as well, maybe on the Nasdaq a little less, but on the ES you can see, yeah, selling has definitely been a little bit more prominent as we trend to the downside. Sure, the Nasdaq has been a little bit choppy and more sideways since the open as well, so one to watch out for. Let me know what you guys are trading. Amir in the chat.
Amir.
AMD greater than 173.05. Yeah, man. AMD was one of my top ideas today. You guys, as soon as I came in, I saw that chart was on Sean's screen, and I was like, oh boy, he took that AMD long. And yeah, look at that beautiful opening drive coming in on AMD. When you take a look at the weekly chart here, Sharif, you can see that it was already pushing. It was already breaking out and pushing a little bit higher. This week coming in with a little bit of a gap up in the pre-market session. Look at this, trending to the upside. These are those March, April lows that I was talking about a little earlier, and we're getting that push back to the upside. 180s potentially back in order, but I was looking at this prior high right here, Sharif, all the way from the week of October 7th, 2024. That was that prior high, and that was sitting at 174.05s. So I was like, coming in today, if we break 174.05s, I want to see if it sustains, and I want to see if it can push a little bit higher. As of right now, here's the thing though, if I'm like, if it can break, I should be looking for that drive, the push, the continuation coming in on the opening of the week. As of right now, holding this 172 during the midday session. We did fall off a little bit and took a little bit of a breather back down to 172s, but picking right back up. So 174.70 was the day high. So we did get past that high by about 65 pennies, and then pulled back a little bit, holding that VWAP quite well as of right now on AMD. Definitely one of the top stocks that I was looking at, but guess what? No execution on it. I just got to get good, man.
You got it good. Na, 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 na. Man, I was singing Usher all morning today.
For sure.
All morning.
What's that song?
I just saw a video the other day. Remember when Trump went to Europe and he met with that the head of NATO guy, and the guy called him daddy?
No. What?
All right. We're gonna have to build an entire story.
Sure?
Well, he wasn't calling him directly daddy. He was like talking about two kids fighting and having to let them fight it out.
Yeah.
And I think that they were talking about Russia and Ukraine, but that's neither here nor there. So basically, he referred to Trump as the daddy of Russia and Ukraine, and that went viral. And when he came back from Europe, the White House used that. They played the Usher track with Trump coming back on the White House lawn, and Usher's song in the background.
Yeah?
Daddy's home.
Oh, Daddy's home.
Yeah. And that's been stuck in my head all day,
hilarious.
bro. All day.
No, I missed out on that, man. I wasn't necessarily in tune with a lot of the market over the
That's
weekend.
okay.
Just kind of unplugged, right? Sometimes it's good to unplug and reassess. I was reading. I was doing
mental health, baby.
I was doing some. Yeah, of course, mental health.
Yeah.
I was doing some reading as well. Some good stuff.
Got him, Neil.
I'm really starting to like some of the teachings of this trader called the Short Bear. I don't know if you've heard of the Short Bear, but if you guys don't know, definitely check him out. I really like him. Again, not sponsored anything, but no, he's definitely a cool dude as well. But yeah, some of his
Is
stuff
he in a loose mood though?
Sorry?
Is he in a loose mood?
What does that mean?
Is he a cool dude with a loose mood, or is he just a cool dude?
I don't know. He's
See,
a cool
I'm ancient, so I know
He's
where
very
that
stoic,
comes
let's
from.
say
It's
that.
Cheetos, bro. Remember, I'm a cool dude with a loose mood. All right, if you're ancient like me in the chat, who remembers that commercial?
I remember Cheetos commercials, but
Was it Cheetos or was it Tony the Tiger, man? It was one of the two.
I don't
It was
know,
some
but,
sort of feline and some sort of commercial for food. Chester Cheeto? Sure, could be. It ain't easy being cheesy. Yes, Don G. Dangler. You know exactly what I'm trying. Trader wannabe. Derek Thompson, he remembers. Y'all ancient like me, welcome to the ancient world. It's good to be with everybody. All right, yes, cool dude in a loose mood, Gary Frost. Katina, man, do you remember that commercial? I'm a cool dude with a loose mood. You remember? Yeah, the Katina man doesn't remember it, but that's fine. Everything's good. He just wants to talk about Tesla.
Yeah,
Tesla's 330 right now, or 30 pennies off that level. Shout out to the Katina man. Keep your eye out on these large caps. OB's long right now, in case you guys didn't notice. Goggles right now, so be on the lookout for that. I'm ancient.
do you add some Tesla in the personal, Sean?
Katina man.
You didn't add? You do have some. Yeah. No, that was a nice dip buy into 230s. No.
No,
It was a nice dip buy. No.
I haven't added Tesla in years.
I'm in a few
Not
other
years,
things
a year and a
that
half, maybe.
most people are probably not looking at. Doge was going nice. Yeah, Doge. My average is still the same. I'm a bag holder of Doge, and I will continue to keep on adding.
I like that.
And I think last I checked, my average was about 7 pennies. So
And where's it at now?
it's probably in and around there. 25, 26. So it's okay. That's
25,
that's
26
that's not,
pennies?
Yeah, that's not what
That's
I'm looking
fantastic.
for. Yeah, but I held through the 74 push.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
So
I see. I see what you're saying.
But yeah, no, there's some things I want to be more active with, then there are some things that I just don't really. Here's the market pulling back. 23,500 pushing back again, a little bit of a bid catching up here. I saw some of you guys talking about Oscar, Sam L in the chat saying Oscar reversal, and then the Fibonacci trader saying shorting HIMS. Great short on HIMS. I just pulled up that chart Fibonacci and Finabachi. Right? That's the correct way to say it, right?
Oh man, I'm never gonna be able to live that down, dude.
No. I mean,
Never.
It is what it is.
I'm okay
Beautiful
with it,
short.
though.
Did you get short in here? Because, oh boy, were you short before this, or are you taking the continuation? That's the question I have for you, Finabachi. This, again, strong selling and then lower highs after that, kind of a continuation, maybe poised for lower lows on the stock on HIMS. Looking good right there. OSCR,
Get it,
with a bit of a reversion. Are you taking the reversion back long in a VWAP? Because that was quite nice. Take a look at this little trend break. Oh boy, right here, boom, boom, boom. Absolutely beautiful. Sure, maybe not that clean, but you get the gist. When that downtrend kind of breaks, we're getting that bit of a bid all the way from 1391, 1410s. Sure, it's not too many pennies, but relative to the to the pricing of the stock and how much it moves and how much volume it's doing, that is a decent chunk of the move, right? It's about 1% higher off of that trend break. So good stuff on Oscar there, Sam. See what else you guys are talking about right here.
Is that Altman in the chat?
Maybe it's Altman. PSTG saying, Jack, 5230 break incoming, daily break, and he's tagging you as well on this stock. So PSTG, let's see if the move is definitely pure on this one. Not a lot of volume, dude. Like if it has less than 1 million, like don't even. I don't even want to look at it.
Yeah, exactly. That should be a general
it's
rule.
1220. If you haven't done 1 million shares by
Exactly,
now,
Ob. Exactly.
why am I really looking at it? Sure, I understand that there are trades around stuff that might be a little.
But it's hard to manage risk, dude. I mean, at these levels, especially with the small cap gappers, though. Like, sorry, Adara, 1 second. So I put my filter for my minimum volume on my scanner at 250, but that's just the first level of filter. And the only reason I do that is because I want to see the ones approaching the higher volume, the ones that are, increased. And one column I also keep right next to my volume column, the 5-minute volume. I want to see what it's done in the last 5 minutes. Why is that? Because the volume shows you the entire day, but it doesn't show you when the volume started coming in or if it's doing volume now. It could have done volume a couple of hours ago. So I want to see what the hell it's doing now or what done recently. So I keep the 5-minute volume right next to my volume bar on my scanner up top, just so I can see if the volume is new, especially for these small cap gappers. That's just a little bit of a trick of the trade right there. Adara, sorry to keep you waiting.
No worries, Sharif. Here's WBD. Keep an eye on this one. The company announcing new company names for Warner Brothers and Discovery following the company separation. They're going to be calling Discovery Global here for Global Networks, and Warner Bros. Will be the name for their streaming and studios end of things. So yeah, just quick little update. I believe this is already previously reported, but Warner Brothers Discovery announcing new company names after the two companies separate. Back to you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry to interrupt here.
It's a battlefield. You know.
It is.
It's a battlefield.
It is.
And how many people are you going to catch? That stuff happens.
You're right.
Probably every moment of.
But you see what I'm saying? If it's auditable, Ob, like especially once all this stuff comes on the blockchain and every single order that comes in and out can be tracked to a person, an individual, whatever it is, an account that could be pegged to somebody. If I see unusual buying before news comes out, I'm the SEC, I'm auditing every single who punched in before there. I want to know what's up, especially if it was on volume. I just don't understand what's so hard about that.
The best guys, think about it. It's just like any sort of distribution, right? The best guys, the best criminals, you don't know about them because they never get caught. You only know about the dumb ones,
right?
Because they leave enough loose ends to get caught, right? Again, talking about distributions, I'm sure it's some sort of Pareto distribution as well in that. But yeah, no, regardless,
you're not
I'm
wrong,
going
man.
off tangent as well. But there's no way to catch some of these guys, in my honest opinion. I think the best you can do is just play the game and try your best to be on the right side.
Fair.
Right? At the end of the day, this is a lawless land. And the market landscape.
Kind of feels that way, right? All the time.
It is, and you know what? You can use that to your advantage as well, right?
Darwin,
Honestly.
it's not a conversation about the Toronto gold heist, Darwin. It's about people
Did they catch those guys? Or
They
no?
caught some of them,
they
yeah.
Caught some.
But like again, you know, it's like you probably caught. I hate to put it this way, but the lower downs instead of the higher ups. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The scapegoats.
Exactly.
Probably.
Yeah. Well said. It's probably a lot
There's definitely
better
always
than calling them the
scapegoats.
lower downs.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta do this with Trade the Pool's swing trade programs. You can get access, guys, to up to $40,000 in buying power to trade real shares, not these CFDs. You hold positions overnight, over the weekend, and you enjoy limited risk thanks to a one-time evaluation fee. There's no monthly payments, and there's no hidden cost. Take Vincent J, for example, one of Trade the Pool's swing traders. He's already locked in $23,082 in profits. And what's his top performer, Ob? NMAX. He shorted it from April 20th to May 30th, and he pulled in $6,777 in gains. Trade the Pool, guys, is giving swing traders the tools, the time, and the capital to thrive. So if you're into that sort of thing, scan that QR code and enjoy 10% off. Shout out to the great folks there at Trade the Pool. And I got to tell you, I was inconsolable there for a little while last week when Mitch didn't make an appearance. So I was very upset about that. But shout out to him. Hopefully he's having a great vacation, and we'll see him again shortly. All right, here's the deal. So we've been involved in SES for a hot minute. We have multiple prints. We have a print waiting at 45 for a hot minute, but it hasn't crossed 45. 45 is the high. Let's keep an eye on that one. But I've worked in to PFSA. We already wet the beak here above, and what I'm looking for is a hold of the 10 here above, because for the most part, for the exception of the 1145 candle that breached the 10 EMA with a wick, and then it ended up closing substantially above it, we really haven't breached the 10 EMA. So what I'm looking for here on PFSA is an attempt of that $0.50 again. If we can continue to put in these higher highs and higher lows, what do I have on? I've got 34s. I've wet the beak here at 37s. I've layered the orders for a price spike up. Let's see if we get it. If we don't, anything below the $0.25 gets me out of this trade. So PFSA. But there's another one, guys, that I just found out right now. In addition to VWAV, and I'm not talking about VAPE. I'm talking about MPU. MPU's on that good stuff right now. Where does it trade, though? Is it on the MX? It is. So this is MPU is a holding company. They're short video streaming platform, producer of short dramas. Okay, cool, whatever. 366 high, up 35 4/5%. Very strong on the day. Couple of bull flags that I perceive. You have the initial bull flag right from the get-go at 9:30. We consolidate for a hot minute. We get bull flag number 2, which has a bit of a deeper retracement, about a 2/3 retracement. Typically, what you're looking for on a bull flag is a 1/3 to a 1/2 retracement from the breakout area to the high. This one, you got a deeper one. No two bull flags are created equal. I say that all the time. So you get a bit of a deeper retracement, but that was the end of the bad, because look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green candles in a row into the high of the day. MPU's on that good stuff right now, taking out 367. It's a decent spread too, only about two pennies. I just got stopped out, by the way, guys, of what's it called? Of PFSAs that lost the 10 EMA and lost VWAP, so we'll give back a little bit on that. But what I'm going to keep my eye on now is MPU, because this one looks like it is a possible breakout candidate hanging out at the highs. The only kind of drawback about this is it's got about 2.25 million shares traded on the day on a $3 name. And when you look at the volume profile, you're not seeing explosive volume here, Assassino. I mean, like, you've got a little bit over here. Maybe this one had about a little less than 200,000 shares. That's at 940. This candle here at 1130 had about 294,000. But those are the outliers. Most most of these candles are going to have sub 100,000. Maybe this one here over here has 150. So the liquidity is not, you know, the best, but it's not bad. MPU, the ticker, it's worked its way onto the side chart and looks like we might take a trade or two on this one, Ob, if it sets up in the right way. So that's what I'm looking at now.
Yes, sir. So yeah, I'm just coming in and changing some of these charts here because I know I'm supposed to be using the white charts. So coming in with the Google still consolidating sideways, man. I'm like, all right, this is a bit of a dead cat bounce, not really reverting, holding that 191. So I'm piecing out there as we make lower highs, not really doing any sort of a reversion as of right now, and it doesn't really have to be there, right? Like the reversion is not always going to come in as nicely as you're looking for, and sometimes it might not come in at all. Another one that I have on watch for an intraday reversion is Tesla. Tesla's pushing up to the upside as of right now. Beautiful higher highs and higher lows. So the long is definitely not wrong, Sharif, on this one as we're holding that VWAP, accelerating above it, 327 base, and pushing for those 330s as of right now. So let's take a quick look. Market doesn't really look like it's going to bounce. I'm watching the Mag 7 right here, and it's not really looking too great in terms of the bid. Apple was coming into its high a day, but flushed down pretty aggressively off of that 214.77 area here on Apple. I'm not watching Meta, though. Oh, boy, Meta with the grind down. What a beautiful reversion. Oh, my God. Look at that.
Wow.
Opening drive, and look at this, just grind down. Lower highs. Look how clean this seller is right here, or this selling is right here. Just forming a very clean grind all the way to the downside. Even with that quadunk, the bid up, stopping in its tracks in line with the trend that's been happening off the reversion. 724.67 is high a day. The opening range low is the low day, coming in at 714.41s. Still in a little bit of, okay, Google maybe with a little bit of a curl here, but I pieced off of more than, I would say, 90% of what I had off of those lows. Again, 97 entries, and it seems like now it's starting to come in. I'm more than willing to add a little bit with some confirmation to the upside. Market, let's see if the ES pulls up. That bottom wick is promising here on these markets where we had that China news, or the news of chips with China. Maybe potentially pulling back and being like, okay, maybe we don't want to do that right now, and getting bought right back up. So again, more of the same is what I'm seeing, Sharif. Any sort of volatility that comes in and drops the market gets bought right back up. The trend is definitely your friend, and the trend, my friends, has been to the upside. Let's take a quick look at the Spider weekly chart to point us in the better direction here. So bigger picture, coming right up on the weekly SPY right here. So the weekly SPY is looking absolutely beautiful. Wow, look at that extension last week. Pretty nice. Some strong weeks coming in, pushing into those high, all-time highs. You can see extension as well. This dip, absolutely beautiful, down into 480s. That's since COVID. People thought this was going to be the end of the world, and if you bought then, you bought that panic while everybody else was running for the hills. You probably have some of the best prices in the past couple of years as well, a few years. Wow, 2020. It's only been 5 years since COVID. Time flies.
Yeah, man, it's ridiculous.
Absolutely flies.
It's ridiculous. But like, when did COVID end for you? Because I think it really depended on.
I wasn't necessarily affected that much by COVID, but
okay.
Yeah.
So to me, kind of ended.
I was trading at home, so I was just like, this is just another. You know,
Yeah. No, I get that. But you were here in 2022 as well. Did you have to Did you wear a mask on the subway when you started coming here?
Yep.
Yeah. So to me, it ended when we stopped wearing masks on the subway and indoors. And in this province, it was April of 2022 that the mask mandate was kind of scrapped. Yeah. So that's kind of when it ended.
I wore it a little bit past the mandate because people are gross. And on the subway, like when you see it happen, you're like, okay, I have to manage my risk. You see people sneezing and coughing on the subway. Like, regardless of COVID, forget about COVID. I'm just like, okay, where diseases are rampant right now, or the flu is rampant right now. I just need to protect myself. I'm trying not to get sick.
Love it.
You know what I mean? And if the mask is going to even make me, 10% less likely to get to not get sick.
I was just going to say I agree with you, Obi, because I worked retail throughout that whole thing, and I was wearing a mask every day. I was like, I don't want to deal with people, honestly, I think regardless of, sometimes COVID, but also just sometimes people are yucky. And when you work at the Eaton Center, you got to protect your neck.
Like I saw
Dara,
this guy one time, his nose was running, he goes like this, and then he holds on to the thing, the what do you call the rail or whatever on the subway. I'm like, dude, that's gross.
Adara, how many vacation days do you have left?
I have 3 days of vacation left.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to talk about that, Adara, because I got to tell you, we were all completely felt naked here when you were gone. Donald was talking, he was saying stuff, he was moving the markets, and we didn't know what the hell was going on. It's not a good time when you're not around, Adara. It's not a good time because, quite frankly, I got to tell you, I was a little worried. I was a little worried punching into these positions, not knowing who Donald's talking to and what he's saying. So.
Thank you for the kind words, Sharif. And I will do my best to
Kind of concerned here.
be here when I can be here.
How many vacation days, Adara?
Thank you very much,
Very
Dara.
tough, you know. Like, what's going on?
Oh boy.
Fake news.
Thank you, Adara. All right, guys. I'm keeping my eye here on MPU because it's got a double top here at 377, at least on the 5. I put a dip trade here for where I perceive to be support. I'm looking at that $0.50 as that area of support, not just psychological, but what I'm looking at is basically this 355 area. So let's see if we get that psychological as well as what's it called? Initial area of resistance. If it comes back down into that area, I'm a buyer. I've already put my order there. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on it right now. Let's see exactly what we get here with MPU. I'm trying to work into this trade, but it is still not having me. Keep in mind, guys, VAPE is continuing to go over here with another high day of 82.88. Be on the lookout for that. I likely won't trade VAPE, but yeah, just keep on the lookout if you're interested in it. Now, what I'm thinking about here is this current candle on MPU actually has a higher low. So the prior candle low was at around 59s. This current candle low is 67s. And now we've opened up a new candle. So if we clear the high of the day here, which is 77s, as I mentioned, I'm just going to go long at the high of the day. Okay? Simple as that. It's a triple top as we speak with each of the 3 candles having higher lows. It doesn't mean it's going to break 77. It just means it's showing me what I want to see at the moment. It doesn't mean it's going to manifest. So keep your eye on MPU, 377, looking to go long at that level, or 355 if it comes back into my level as well. VWAV is continuing to go again, and here we are again, right back above the 10 EMA, south of 9, but we're putting in now 3 higher lows in a row, and here we go on VWAV, excuse me, not WWAV, VWAV, 369 right now. The prior area high is 915, but like with most of these ones that just breach the whole dollar level, it's most likely 9 that we're going to have to really deal with as the resistance level. So if we get above 9 and get above 9 decisively, this could be another good long. Yeah, so I'm really focusing right now on MPU and VWAV. Those are what I perceive to be the best right now, obviously with my position in SES, which is a slower mover. I don't know, I shouldn't say I shouldn't worry about that. Obviously I should, but it's not as fast, so I don't need to make quick decisions about that like in the way that I would need to on VWAV and MPU. So look, going back to MPU over here, as this one just keeps finding buyers at 70, and there is the high of the day break into 78. It's not exactly rocketing up, and in fact, it's right back down into 77s right now, so I'm really trying to make my mind up here. It's lightly traded. It's a light trade, even though we're closing in on 2.8 million shares. It's not exactly what you're looking for here when you're looking for these small cap gappers rocketing up with good liquidity. It doesn't seem that way, but we're going to give this one a try. Let's see if we can get in at 78s. It's not crossing down. There we go. So we'll get 78s over here. Let's see if we can layer some orders to the high side. Now I will defend this into the 10 EMA. Full disclosure, which is right now at 360. So you know I already have a resting order sitting at 55, which is going to have to get moved up into 60. So let's go ahead and do that right now. We're going to cancel that order waiting at 55s, and we're going to go ahead and front run the 10 EMA on the 5. So we'll throw that order out there and see what we get. We won't get upset what's going on with your side there.
Just the Google is finally coming in, man. I'm just like, I sold like 90%. And now it's coming in. So if I just had left the risk to the day low, Would have been perfectly fine for the reversion to VWAP, but let's see if the bid actually steps in here and gives us a bit of a pullback. I'm looking at VWAP here. That's sitting at 192.13. Market's still doing bupkis. So 190.85 is the day low. We see that nice little wick. I was looking at this 191, and when we did that wick action right there, I was like, all right, maybe that's the false break that I'm looking for. And I did get in a little bit of a choppy mess in here, but you can see I did piece off pretty aggressively. If you guys can see, all those yellows are exits right there, and then a nice little push. I did buy on the way down here into 191, stopped out, and when it does that reclaim, I'm like, all right, this is even better than before. So I'm like I'm getting into a little bit more than C size, not exactly B just yet. But yeah, piecing off most of it for 10, 20 pennies, which was not the best, and now it's more than 50 pennies. But that's fine. VWAP still about 50, 60 pennies away from here. No idea if it's going to get there. You know that we've been only making lower highs and lower lows. This prior high, if we do continue to push, is going to be just above that 192. So let's see if that can come into fruition here. 191.50 is currently trading, but the market, man, not really. It's sell. This 15-minute candle is a little bit red here as of right now. AMD, oh boy. All right, so AMD coming in potentially here. Let's see if we can get down to this 172. So we've pretty much given up a decent chunk of that buying action that was coming in off of the open. We're still technically holding VWAP, but that's why I want to see this prior most recent local low at that 172 area and see if that comes in. If not, if we hold that VWAP, I'm questioning whether or not we see 175s today, Sharif. Ooh. So yeah, a little bit of market tailwind would definitely help as well on that one. QuantumScape was another stock that I was looking at, but you know what? I did not look at QuantumScape close enough. You know, sometimes you got to look really close at some of those quantum names, right? So QS, right off of the open, beautiful flush coming in. I was looking for continuation, but you just have to wait for that bid to dissipate, and selling came in right off the open, 212.28, beautiful reversion back in, coming into prior day's lows, lick grabbing it, and then now we're reverting the reversion itself. So a little bit of reverseception happening here on QuantumScape. We'll be right back from Madeira.
Just keep an eye here on AIP. It's worth noting there's not a ton of volume on this, around 300,000 shares, but it's moving a little bit in case you missed it. There is this news here of this partnership between Tesla and Samsung, apparently $16.5 billion chip supply deal with Samsung. Samsung initially revealing this through an SEC filing. Now, AIP might fit into this. There's some social media speculation coming out that apparently AIP could be a beneficiary of this deal. They've actually worked with Tesla, and they do have some ties to Samsung. So some speculation that AIP could be involved in some way with the Samsung and Tesla deal. Keep an eye on this ticker. Again, the volume is very light, guys. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adara. All right, keeping my eye here on VWAV. I'm going to have to load up the 5 on this one if I want to get in. 5-second chart, that is. So we're having trouble with 9. We just dipped down aggressively into almost 8 1/3, excuse me. And now we're trying to break back above over here, just keeping my eye on the trend on the 5-second to see when it would be appropriate to get in, if appropriate. We've generally been holding between the 10 and the 20 EMAs on the 5, basically all day. There really hasn't been a trend change with respect to that. It's just sometimes finding support at the 10. Sometimes it's kind of in between the 10 and the 20. It's certainly got a seller at 9, though. There's been many attempts at 9. Initially, the first time we got into 9 was around 12:05. Since that time, it's been rejecting 9 with lower highs. So that does concern me a little bit as we look for kind of the trend change. So I'm just keeping my eye on this one. I don't mind getting back in, but I don't think it's quite primed and ready to go yet. Let's see if that changes here. Just keeping an eye on the micro pullbacks. No, it's still lower lows and lower highs as it dips back down into the mid-50s here, 8 mid-50s that is. So a V-wave still very much in play, but just looking for the breakouts before I weasel back into this one. Now, the other one that we've got on, I didn't get the ad. I really did move this up. I moved it up from 55, I swear, to 64. We don't get the ad, and now we've got a hammer candle forming green right now on MPU. It hasn't taken out the high of the day or anything like that, but You just want to get a better cost basis so that you can attempt the high day break with a better price. So keep your eye out for MPU. But this one now, SES coming back down after rejecting 45. So I'm convinced that there could be a flat top break on SES. What I really want to look for, though, are higher lows. So the prior area low on SES was essentially a volume weighted average price pullback, and the low there was 136. So I have exactly 136s on right now. So anything below 136 would mean that this is not the right trend. Look how many times we rejected 145. And I was sitting there all that time. I didn't put this after. I was waiting for it, and it didn't get printed. So I wet the beak there just to de-risk a little bit at 142, just take off some risk. But I am looking for a 145 pop and break if we can get it on SES. Let's go back now to VWAV, keeping an eye on this one, still holding the 10 EMA, but off that $9 area. So VWAV not quite setting up, and what I'm seeing on the 5-second chart are lower highs. And so this is what I'm looking at. I want you guys to see kind of what I see over here, Assassino, where we had that $9 rejection. This is the 5-second chart, so this is not 5-minute candles, 5 seconds. You reject $9, and then you make lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Do we find support at that 830 area? Yes, we do. Initial area of support, but can we change trend? Can we stop putting these lower highs in and start putting in higher highs and higher lows? We'll have to wait for that. So packing my patience, don't need to be first on what's called VWAV over here. All right, let's go back over to MPU. I neither took anything to the high side nor DCA'd to the downside. So we're in no man's land right now, 5 pennies out of the money on MPU. And there is a 4-candle setup right now into the highs that haven't been breached. 379 the high, and we've got 4 candles, 3 of which are doji candles. This does concern me because it could be the beginning of a pullback. Okay. Now I've tried to account for that by keeping my eye on key levels and looking at DCA into the appropriate levels, but you just never really know how this cookie is going to crumble. Okay. So be on the lookout for that as well. Let's go back now to VWAV. This one's right back at the 10 EMA, but as I've mentioned, the 10 EMA sometimes been support, sometimes the money fills have been between the 10 and the 20. The area between the 10 and the 20 right now are about 8 to 810. So if you pick up something off that whole dollar right now, that could be the money fill here on VWAV, VWAV. Let's keep an eye out on this one. It's looking for a bigger retracement into between the 10 and the 20, and I could be certainly persuaded to punch in. Let's load up the 5-second chart as well to keep an eye on the macro trend. So that's all I'm keeping my eye on, VWAV, SES, and MPU.
Yeah, no, I'm just staring this Google down, and that came in almost back into the 90s here, 192. So that bid does come in off the false break of the day low, right at that 191. Not quite at VWAP just yet, but again, I'm not expecting it to get all the way to VWAP, even though I'm posted in and around there, because we've been extending off of VWAP, right? It's like if we're extending off VWAP, can I really expect it to go all the way back if we're still making a lower? Like, look, it's. I was pointing to my screen. Nice. Like, look right here, 192.80, 18, and then 192s. These are still structures from prior action that we still have not broken through. So technically, in terms of higher highs and higher lows, if I'm using that to define trend, technically, the trend hasn't really broken. Sure, it might have broken some moving averages because we started going sideways. Sure, it might have broken some trend lines because we started moving sideways, but structure still has not broken necessarily as we just hold a little bit of a consolidation for over an hour here on top of the 191. Gets me a little convinced that, okay, maybe sellers and buyers and sellers are starting to switch a little bit of hands here. But yeah, reversion to VWAP coming in quite nicely here on Google, and the market still ceases to do anything. Hey, Neil, we're on the U contract right now. Is that true? Okay, that's correct. I'm just making sure I'm on the right ones here, because when I logged into this one, it was on M23. What? Yeah, that's crazy. And I'm sure I've sat at this desk more recently, right? I don't know what's going on, man. We gotta talk to Joe what he's doing with this computer. I also pulled up the task manager, and there was so many processes that I don't even recognize. And I'm like, oh boy. So some stuff definitely going on this PC that I'm curious about. I finally got Chrome to work. I had to reinstall it. I had to remove the application and then reinstall it. So I was like, it took me 2 seconds, but I was just like, all right, well, if you're not going to really work, and I think someone in the chat mentioned it as well. There was maybe the app data was fried or something, and yeah, so I just did a fresh install and it was working perfectly fine. Now, yeah, no, that VWAV here, the wave is continuing to push up a little bit higher here, man. What are your plans on that one? It's holding trend, dude. It's holding trend quite nicely, throwing up a moving average and even a trend line. Look at how clean this trend is right here. Just get it from the low of the day up to here. Sure, we start to break a little bit, but still, like I said, that's one definition broken, but technically we're still holding higher highs and higher lows. So, you know what I mean? Still trending to the upside. Absolutely beautiful action. Was $2 just yesterday. And by yesterday, I mean on Friday in the pre-market, maybe getting some news. No idea what the news was, but coming in quite nicely. Wow, 192. Where's the VWAP, you may ask?
Show yourself VWAP.
And VWAP, I have here sitting at 192.12. So let's actually get some VWAP here on these charts. So I have them, so I have it registered as well. But yeah, that's all I'm really looking at. I think I came in today and I was talking to Jose in the back as well, and I was just like, yeah, sideways action. He's like, yeah, if there's a day not to take any aggressive trades, today might be that day. And only a few names right off of the open in terms of the large caps really pushing. That was AMD, right? And maybe Tesla as well, but no, small cap. It is small cap season, dude.
It feels like it,
like multiples of 100% winners or runners, not necessarily winners. But people getting blown out of their shorts. We saw a lot of that happen.
Yes.
And that stock that you said, which one? The one that went to 170. Yeah. Someone's definitely someone's battery definitely blew up on that one. So you've heard about those vapes blowing up, eh?
Yes, I have. And the bikes. You ever see some of these corroded e-bikes that make their way onto the subways? Once they get the salt in them, they corrode and then they explode, and it's not a good look. No, but I want to take this opportunity to kind of build on a point that O brought up earlier. We didn't get to really go into it, and here's the deal, guys. So we know that some EOs are floating around. It's either an EO or legislation, I forget, but they're looking at, and by they, the legislator is obviously in the United States, at lessening the pattern day trade rule from 25,000 down to 2. So if that actually happens, a lot of analysts are expecting the volume in the market to pick up substantially. And the area where they're expecting a lot of increased volume are in the lesser expensive names, the smaller cap names. Okay, so if that's going to be the case, then we could, underlying could, nobody knows what the hell is going to happen. We could have, a secular bull run in these small caps. Now, that will be aided substantially. That result will be aided substantially if the Fed starts cutting rates, because then you'll get the double whammy. You'll get the removal of PDT, or the lessening of PDT from 25 down to 2, and you'll get the small cap tailwind, which is a lower rate, or not low, but lower rate environment. 1 second. So what you're going to need to be looking for here are increased volumes into small caps. Now, if that's the case, then you probably should start trading them before they're in vogue, so that you've paid your dues and you have the repetitions for when they get hot, right? And again, nothing's for certain here. We're just speaking about possibilities, but it's something to be on the lookout for if you're looking at doing some retail trading and small cap specifically.
Yes, sir. So big news for Vietnam's green mobility shift, and a major win for VinFast. That's the Nasdaq ticker VFS. Starting July 1st, 2026, Hanoi will ban gas-powered motorcycles in its city center, kicking off a nationwide move towards electric transport. VinFast is in prime position to benefit with major investments in EV tech, battery production, and charging networks. It has a strong head start. While others scramble, VinFast is ready, and this policy only sharpens its edge.
Dang.
So, yeah.
I like sharpening edges.
Check those guys out. Here, a little bit of a flip-flop on Google, just testing the waters. Like I said, I don't expect it to get right up to VWAP there. I was posted. We started going a little sideways after that bid. You can see the market pulling in as well. You can see the ES and the Nasdaq coming into consolidation lows. Sure, I'm watching Nike as well. Nike's starting to curl a little bit here, but not really involved in it as of right now. Let's see if we can pull back down a little bit lower, but more than willing to lose on this flip short on the goggles here just to test out whether or not we get to VWAP or not. Like I said, I think the initial trade I kind of botched already, attempting to get long and selling everything a little too early on that pushback up. False break of 191 was quite nice there, Sharif. So
Yes, sir.
let me know in the chat what you guys are trading. I would like to know. And yeah, yeah, Miami Dragon. Yes, I did switch up a little bit. The market, I mean, the market started coming in. We were underneath VWAP, 192 prior structure. We didn't quite break it. We're extended below VWAP. That bid was quite aggressive and pushing pretty nicely. So I'm just taking a quick stab at it. I don't know if it's going to work or not. No idea. But yeah, let's continue watching this one. And again, let's see what you guys are talking about here. Charlie Taff saying, I am considering a Q short on the break of range lows. Let's take a quick look at that as well. QQQs. I normally look at the TQs a little bit more, but yeah, still pretty much the same here. Are you talking about this range low right here? That is coming in at 567.77 apparently. All right, so yeah, a break of that low. Let's see if that potentially comes in. We got that strong Kwadunk, which was corrected quite aggressively on the Qs. Again, that little wick action right there on the 15-minute chart, Nasdaq, you can see that coming in. But sellers still pretty strong as we're trading below VWAP and still trading lower than opening range highs as well. Pretty much sideways action is what I'm really seeing here. Sure, we make a flush, but gets bought right back up above prior day's levels. Right there, you can see the selling that came in going into the end of the day on Friday was in and around 5.56s, 5.67s, 5.66s, and you can see that resistance may be turning into support on that ping to the downside. Yeah, a little bit. I like it. I like it when strong action tests goes into some zones and tests out what kind of liquidity might be sitting in and around there as well. But yeah, good stuff. Looking at some of those names. Okay, here's a little bit of a bid. Oh boy, we might actually get to that 192 here on Google.
All right, guys, I'm involved in MPU, and we just took out into the high of the day. It is 390, so we're long 78. We scalped up into that level. I'm really, I don't want to say aggravated because I'm not aggravated at all, but I'm just frustrated with the fact that I didn't get this ad because it came into my level. As you can see there on the screen, I have that resting order there. It came into it, but it was a 4-3 penny spread or whatever at that level, so we didn't get the ad. I mean, it's just if I'm not staring at it and then have the opportunity to chase it, if it doesn't trigger, then, you know, we won't get it. You come back to it, you see it's untriggered. So I'm just frustrated by that. I mean, I would really love to have gotten that ad, especially since I had the right area and I had the right idea, and then we don't have the kind of shares or the price that we would like. But nonetheless, it's positive and we're taking it into the high. Let's see if this thing can test the $4 area. I was seeing somebody in the chat saying that it was awfully close to its 52-week highs. Let's do some TA and find out if that is accurate or not. The ticker I'm talking about, guys, is MPU, up nicely on the day, 42% and change. Let's go to the daily on MPU. All right, well, I'm just waiting. There we go. So where is this? June. So it's July. So this is well above the 52-week highs. What you probably were talking about there in the chat was something around here. This would take us all the way back to January of last year, right? I don't think that that's what you meant, or maybe it is what you meant. But in any event, we're above 52-week highs right now. Not all-time highs, though. And besides, I think if we keep going here, I think we had some higher highs. Yeah, the mother of all double tops there, COVID. A lot of charts look like this, though. A lot of charts during the COVID period. They kind of had a double top. They popped up, you know, sometime during COVID, and then they made another attempt only to be brought down by Jerome Powell and his testimony in front of Congress saying inflation wasn't transitory. We saw this in 2022. Mostly everything sold off. So we're going to keep an eye out on that. But in any event, MPU, we're involved in this one at 78. Now it's back down into 77s. Let's see if it holds up at the 10 EMA on the 5. In addition to that, I added to my position over here on SES. It came back into VWAP. It has a triple bottom, not triple bottom, 3 areas where it came into on the 5-minute chart where it found support at VWAP. So I added into this position at 38. So let's see if it pops back up. Let's go ahead and scalp something here at 41s if we can get that. We'll pack our patience to see if we can get that Adair.
Sharif, we have Boeing earnings tomorrow morning, so of course I'm working on some infographics over at TTV Research ahead of that report. I currently have one in the works that I'm very excited about, following the stock performance of Boeing under all of its CEOs in the new millennium, and definitely check that one out once it's live. I'll preview it here. But in the meantime, this infographic shows the kind of turbulent, for lack of a better term, situation here with Boeing's quarterly deliveries. We had a little bit of growth, drops back down. Lately, it's been really choppy. So again here, BA quarterly deliveries of their commercial aircraft. You can check this out on X at TTV Research. And make sure to follow us on X for all of your market-related content needs. Back to you.
All right, VWAV, V-Wave, excuse me, I keep saying W-Wave, I don't know why. V-Wave taken right back off into the high of the day. It's a 9:15 banger. There it goes. It's a 9:44 banger right now on V-Wave. This one has got the goods. It's 300% in the green. Everybody's fixated on the 760% that VAPE is on. But VAPE, you know, it's off the highs of the days right now. V-Wave has got the goods. It's heading right back up into that high of the day. Again, it's a 944 high. Let's see if it can defend 9, but I don't think we're substantially far enough away from 9 so we can use it as support. So I'll be looking at the higher lows rather than the whole dollar area of support. I'm talking about 9. I just don't think we've cleared it far enough. Let's keep an eye out on this one. V-Waves on that good stuff. I'm going to flatten out here on MPU if we get any more selling. Here's the deal. It's above the 10 EMA, but I don't want to see a break of prior bar low. Prior bar low is essentially where I'm at, so if it loses that, I'll just get out and I'll let my other order fail. So keep your eye on MPU. It's a little illiquid right now, but keep your eye on it nonetheless. And then quickly here back to V-Wave. Here we go again into that high. It's a 44 high again. We're touching the high again. There's a seller at 38. He kept blocking us, but right back up we go into the high 20s, mid 30s again, but we can't shake that high of the day yet. We'll get back from Madeira and see what happens.
So to let you guys know, Sharif, we do have the 5-year note auction coming imminently. It's supposed to be happening right now. I'll let you guys know when I have any details. I do not even have right now what the previous high yield was, so we can't really provide an accurate comparison. Earlier today, we had the 2-year note auction exactly in line with estimates. If there's anything big here, I will let you know, but just be aware, 5-year note auction happening right now. Back to you.
All right, Ob, tell them.
Coming in, some strong selling just came into the goggles here, flushing all the way down to 50s on that, and then picking right back up. So interesting action right there. We were underneath that VWAP, but talk about taking out the bid, and then maybe a little bit of absorption. Let's see if that selling continues here, coming in under VWAP as well. That was quite nice. Let's see, where was that candle low? That candle low went to 56s. We were trading in the 90s there. That local high coming in at 192.01, so pretty much well, relatively close. I didn't have covers down. I was not sitting down here, but absolutely beautiful, getting bought right back up. So maybe a little bit of, you know, algos step in there when they definitely feel something might be a little mispriced. And it seems like that was a good, maybe potential example of that. Let's see if we can see VWAP now. That bid coming in pretty aggressively, Sharif.
All right,
192.
sorry, just give me a
boy,
throw.
here we go.
Opportunity to throw my stops here. All right, here we go. We're throwing in stops on MPU as it's breaking a little bit down here. So if it doesn't hold this bid, we're going to get right out. Keeping my eye also on SES. After that ad, I've still gone unprinted on SES, so let's keep tabs on that. Let's go ahead and wet the beak actually over here, and then we'll also layer into 39s and 40. How many shares do we have? Yeah, good. 39, and then we're going to print at 40 as well. And let's see what we get on that bad boy. Let's go back over now to MPU. What do we got on? We got still 73s on, going unprinted for the moment. 73s now on the ask, 66 on the bid. It's at the 10, but it better hold. So we'll leave that one. Let's let it cook. I still have one more order that's gone unfilled. This one over here, VWAV. Into 944, dropping below 9. This is exactly why I didn't want to use 9 as support. We just didn't clear 9 far enough, given the relative price action, to say it was going to be support. Now, what's going to be operative if you're looking at working your way into VWAV is the higher lows. Be on the lookout for the higher low, higher low, higher low. Again, what I perceive here for VWAV is the money fills seem to be between that 10 EMA and the 20 EMA on the 5. Most of the time when it's got a strong uptrend, the support will be at the 10 EMA. But when it pulls back a little bit deeper, the buy area seems to be at that in between the 10 and the 20 at Dara.
So to let you guys know, we did get that auction. It is worth noting here, the 5-year note auction, 3.983% prior, or I guess just before the auction, the high yield sitting here around 3.975%, so slightly lower than what the high yield we were seeing right before the auction. Palantir news as well, guys. Excuse me, the information reporting that the Defense Department is testing AI to gain leverage over producers like Palantir. So apparently, again, I want to repeat the headline, the information reporting that the Defense Department is testing AI to gain leverage over producers like Palantir. Apparently, they're also reporting here that Microsoft is offering AI to pry customers away from Salesforce and other competitors. So CRM, PLTR, MSFT on watch. As you guys know, if I get any other information, I'll let you know right away. Back to you.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh.
Yeah, no, that Palantir's coming in real hot right now to the downside on that catalyst, intraday catalyst. Some great stuff happening here. So right away, I'm going to flip over to the 1 minute, throw on an anchored and see what we do with that right there. That's coming in at, I guess, 155s. We're trading about 50 pennies lower. Those dips getting bought right back up. So yeah, a little bit of a crush. And I was short. I think I showed you this. I was short Palantir. I was like, all right, sellers are definitely in charge. And I tried to short aggressively, but only took a little bit off, and selling coming in with the catalyst right there, giving us that continuation. I don't know what this anchored is down here, but let's go up to a higher time frame and see what kind. Oh boy. Oh boy. I need to go up to a daily for this one, Sharif.
Okay.
1 day. Let's see if we're violating any sort of a trend, because we know Palantir has been in a pretty aggressive uptrend, right?
Has been,
so
sure.
Let's see if we've broken trend at all. Absolutely not. Even through that volatility and that aggressive flushing, nothing really happening here on the higher time frame. But intraday, oh boy, 158s all the way down to 153. So interesting action on that one there. Google seems like it wants that VWAP, so still holding on to that one right there. Market still going sideways, man. Lunchtime's pretty. I would say lunchtime's pretty quiet for large caps for the most part. But sometimes when you do get intraday news, that's some of the, regardless of what time of day it is, those are some of the best opportunities. So let's continue to watch Palantir and see what it can give us here as it pulls back into some of those prior day levels on Palantir. Oh boy.
I like it, Ob. I like it. Guys, I'll get to MPU in a second, but VWAV has a seller at 15s here on the 5, can't shake them. We're generally putting in higher lows on the 5-second chart, but we've got a flat top brewing here at $9.15. There's a seller of note that can't be shaken. Let's see if we can maintain that level above 9. What I'm looking for is a break above 9.15. You can try to work your way in on the higher low as well. That's sound, but we're breaking down now below 9. But every time we dip below 9, the buyers are stepping up. Full disclosure, and pushing it right back above 9. But we've got a bit of a micro downtrend right now as we're putting in lower highs. So that 9.15 acting as the top, then the subsequent areas with lower highs right now on VWAV. I was also able to extract a couple of beak wetters here on my friend MPU into the mid to high 70s, but this one is continuing to kind of show some weakness at this level. So I am a little concerned. We got a little bit of de-risk there, or we're profitable on it, but it is coming back down, and we've got 71s on. It's below my ad area. I still have one area over here waiting at 64s that still has gone unprinted to the downside. Here we go again, showing 64s. I don't know if this is the right trade anymore. I'll pack I don't have that too many shares in it, so we can definitely work our way out of this one. Let's just see exactly what we get on MPU. Also, SES continuing to try to take prints to the high side over here. We've had a seller at 39 for a long time, but we do have higher lows on that one. So I am looking for a break possibly above that 40 penny area on SES. Let's go back to MPU and see what the situation is over here, because I'm trying to work my way into this one on MPU. All right, let's just let this one cook, because VWAV is going to take out the level again. There it goes into the high of the day. VWAV's on that good stuff right now. It's a 955 high. People taking profits as it comes right back down into the 40s. But this is likely the first step before we see higher highs. And here we go. We just touched 953 again with higher lows right now. So be on the lookout for a decisive break. We took out that 915 seller like it didn't even matter, man. I'm just looking at it. Yeah, you got to be staring at these ones at all times in order to really catch the best of the price action. Because anytime you look away, there's stuff happening. There's a whole bunch of selling at 953 in the same way that we were selling at 915. So whatever algo is basing the trade off, this one is certainly using 953 now as the level, but it feels like it's going to get taken. 52s, 51s right now. 54s now is the high of the day, but it's a quick wick and we drop right back down into the 30s. V-Wave is the one I'm talking about. There it is again. Oh baby. 968 high on V-Wave. This one's got all gas, no brakes. Here we go again, 972 HOD. This one keeps putting in higher lows and higher highs. Now watch out for that 10 squeeze on V-Wave. I don't have anything in it at the moment. We've been trading it basically all morning. But here we go again, pulling back into that 9 2/3 right now. That's still higher lows. The prior area low, 940. Be on the lookout for a loss of 940. That's prior area low, at least on the 5-second chart, So that's what I'm keeping my eye on. What do you got?
Coming into VWAP here is Google. Again, I'm not looking at too much other than Google. I'm still waiting for other opportunities. I got Palantir on watch now with that quadunk, but a little bit of a bid showing up, stopping in its tracks. 153.06 is the low. So yeah, fresh news coming in on Palantir, still holding that 155. So yeah, yesterday's or prior day's opening range and day low was in and around that 155. We're consolidating underneath it. So the question becomes, this was a little bit of support. This was resistance on Thursday, that 155, 156 area. We broke out of that coming in right off of the open on Friday. And guess what? Today, a little bit of a reversion. Let's see if that resistance turns support, turns into resistance once again with this little bit of consolidation now happening underneath that level. 155 halves is the wick high here on this 3-minute candle, 155.45. So still consolidating underneath that level. But yeah, let's see if we see some of that action coming in of support turning into resistance. You see that happen all the time across the board in the market. And if you use that as a little bit of confluence, which I definitely do, you can definitely add some perspective and direction to your ideas.
Got him over. Yes, sir.
But, yeah.
All right.
What do you got going on there?
I'm still trading MPU. Finally, we're getting higher lows and higher highs. We've got a bunch of prints. What do we have? We have 70s on an MPUs. I just got a 79 print there, so not the biggest move. But here we go. We're trying to work into higher highs. There's 80 again. There's 82. I'm waiting at 82, but it's got a cross. It's a 1 penny spread, bro. Let's go. Print the thing. All right, so we'll continue to wait over here on MPU, showing 82s, showing me 81s on the bid, but it's not crossing, so there is a seller here, a hidden order, an iceberg order, keeping us down, preventing us from ascending. Let's pack our patience. There it goes. Run for your life, short seller. You're going to get killed, brother. So we're going to get 85s, and then we're going to post up at 88s. Run for your life. All right, so keep your eye here on MPU, 390 high.
that was the Flintstones run, right?
Good.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah,
I like that one. I like that one. Shout out to Assassino. Boom! Into the high. We take it out. We take out 88s. We take out 85s. And now we're waiting at the high of the day. Go, MPU. Go, you little. All right. So that's what we're looking at. Get it, Brendo. Brendo's flying through the screen for whatever reason. He's a lamb and money's flying out of him, but everything's fine. Everything makes sense. Don't ask questions. We're going to keep an eye out on that. And there goes V-Wave. Oh, my God. These small cap gappers are going to give me an aneurysm. 1024 high of the day. This thing's up 325%. Go, VWAV, go. This piece of garbage was like $3 when we started trading it. It's clearing 10 now. So these small cap gappers, as we did a little soliloquy before to explain why they were coming in vogue, it's already showing itself right now. 1024 HOD on VWAV. Trade it carefully as we come into areas of technical resistance. I'm going to talk about that $10 level. Obviously, we're above it right now, but 24 pennies is not exactly clearing it by any distance. So keep your eye out on that. So that's all I'm keeping my eye on right now. We got the position on SES and MPU, both nicely in the money. How's that SES trade doing? All right, so we took out a bunch of prints after the ad. By the way, I forgot to mention to you guys, I added into the SES position. Initially, we had 36s. VWAP is a dynamic level, excuse me, as we've talked about. So it came into VWAP again, found support, so I added at the volume weighted average price, and we've wet the beak out there a little bit. But these ones are around for a good time, not a long time. So anything below my entry price now on MPU, we're gonzino. Now this is an ugly topping tail candle that's manifesting right now on MPU, excuse me, with a 390 high. Now that does make it a double top because the prior area high on MPU was at 12:50 p.m. on the 5 anyway, and it was 390. So this makes it a double top. Be on the lookout for possible resistance there. But look at the goods on VWAV. Joe, I was going to call you Joseph, sorry. This thing is flying to the high side. Every time I look, it's at a new high day. This one, the squeeze is on. Whether it's a low float or a short squeeze, it doesn't really matter. The volume is there. The price action is there. It's respecting trend. We've been putting in higher freaking lows and higher freaking highs all dang morning on this one. So it's not exactly bamboozling you in and out of the trade. So we'll keep tabs on that and we'll report to you on it if we have another trade on it. But currently, we don't have anything on it at the moment. So let's look to enter, I guess, really, because I should be trading this, especially if it's this aggressive to the high side ope. I know you'll be looking at this one for the reversion, or will you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly studying those, we were mentioning before. I think small caps are definitely poised for a little bit more volume in the coming future. And yeah, let's see how that reversion comes in. This is still very much front side. There are people definitely trying to short that name over and over again and getting blasted to the upside. Its action speaks for itself. The volume speaks for itself as well. So the volume in the chart and the price actions kind of speak for itself is what I'm trying to say here. And very much an uptrend on that one. And again, no real sense of capitulation or failure or anything like that just yet on any of those stocks that I see you trading. You're getting with the trend, which is beautiful.
Yeah, I have a rule. Look, in 2022 and in early 23, number one, I wasn't as proficient at these as I think I am now, or I'm trying to be. Number one. Number two, the market was a little weak. If you recall, obviously in 22 it was quite weak. So I noticed a lot of these ones open, by those ones I'm talking about, small cap gappers, they didn't have the juice. And so they'd make an initial move, and then it would be a retracement into VWAP. Rarely would they hold VWAP open. So what I would wait for was a loss of VWAP, and then I would short them. And I haven't actually been shorting any of these small cap gappers in, like, I don't know, a couple of years, because the market just hasn't been that way, where, you know, you fade the pop, so to speak. So there is a different trade, is what I'm trying to say, for these small cap gappers. There used to be a trader on the floor, I forget his name. His name was Ed, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was his modus operendi. He would wait for these ones to make their move.
Eric as well.
Eric, that's it. Sorry, not Ed.
Not
Eric.
Ed, okay.
I meant, thank you for that. Yeah. And that was his move. And he would wait for these ones to make their move to the high side and for the steam to run out, and then he'd be pouncing. He'd get shorts on them. Sometimes shorts are quite expensive on these ones because they're highly in demand and very rare. But that's the nature of being, or that's the pleasure, I think, of saying, of being on a prop floor. Because rarely will I be able to short any of these on my own platform. But on the floor here with real trading, you basically have your pick of the bunch. Whichever ones you want, they're pretty much there. I rarely remember a situation where I looked over to Neil and Sean and said, can I get shorts? And there were none. I don't even remember a time that's happened. So full disclosure. Oh, it's gonna happen now, isn't it, Katina, man? Okay, just to test the waters, MPU, Katina, man, how much would the shorts on MPU and VWAV, just those two? 1 point on VWAV, Neil? On VWAV? Oh, you're guessing. I thought you actually looked. Okay. No, Neil was just taking a shot in the dark there. Katina is going to look.
With the way that wave is moving, and what was the other one? VAPE? VAPE. I want to know how much VAPE
MPU, Katina man, MPU. Yeah.
I want to know how much VAPE borrows are as well, because that thing is going absolutely crazy and blasting shorts out of the water. But again, the higher and higher it gets, I like it a little bit more. But again, got to wait for that backside.
Katina man's upset, brother. He's like, look, bro, this is my break. You know, I'm trying to punch into my food over here, and you guys are eliciting my time. Like, find a better hobby. No, I'm playing. So we'll keep an eye on that. Levi Corbett, SLDP, I think is still dope. Let's have a look at SLDP. Shout out to Lee Corbett. Am I saying it right? Levi. Is it Corbett or Corbet? Because, you know, we're Canadian, right? So we have that kind of French side to us that, you know, it's portage, not portage. If you speak to any Americans, though, it's portage. And the only reason I know, get it, Adara.
Unless you live in Winnipeg, because one of our biggest streets is Portage, and it is pronounced.
How much is vape? I don't want it.
For whatever reason.
I just want to know how much.
Well, I can show you a bunch of videos on YouTube where they're not pronounced that way. But to be fair to Adara, the guy is from Ontario, so it's portaging. So there it is. I'm short TQQ here, the Katina man says. Any updates on the price, brother?
So vape is 26 cents.
Vape is 26 pennies for 100 shares.
So
it'll cost you $26. So
shorts
on MPU, free. 2 cents for 100 shares on MPU. So $1.95 for VWAV. So I mean, these are just ridiculous prices, Ob.
Yeah.
Are we Assassino? Which one?
We're ready.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, guys. Beta Pro by Global X. Savvy Canadian traders looking to boost their exposure can now tap into the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500 with Beta Pro 3 times daily leverage ETFs featuring built-in FX hedging. This aims to amplify short-term market moves, minimizing the impact of currency swings. Whether you're feeling bullish or bearish, these ETFs are built for active day traders ready to take on the market. Read the full risk disclosure in the prospectus at betapro.ca before investing. All right, so the market with a little bit of a quadunk to the downside, and Google's still holding in and around this VWAP area. Consolidation hasn't really broken trend here. 191s, 192s still holding. That was that prior structure, but you can see the ES printing some fresh lows maybe on this 15-minute candle, catching a little bit of a bid going into it, and then the Nasdaq, not fresh lows just yet, Sharif, but coming into them as of right now. Let's see if that low can be broken on the Nasdaq. The ES has already broken, and we're looking like we might be poised for a little bit of fresh lows as well on the ES. So let's see what's moving around here. Wow, Palantir is still holding that 156, 155 area as a little bit of a consolidation as well. Wow, Intel today was day 2 of earnings, and after that strong bid in the morning session, we pretty much sold right back off. So let's take a quick look at Intel as well. I had this on watch, not necessarily one of my top ideas, but definitely something that I was watching as it is earnings day 2. On the reaction, didn't really do much coming into the open. Pretty much sideways consolidation, but coming in today, nice little hold of that prior day consolidation highs, giving us the push a little bit higher. 21.29 was the day high, but oh boy, taking a little bit of a grind all the way back down as the market starts to fade as well. So we pretty much gave it all up and then some, and it seems like day low is almost inevitable. 2069 is the opening range low, and as well as the day low, currently trading at 2073, Sharif. So yeah, Intel, let's see if that comes in. Market taking a bit of a pullback, but let's see if that selling sustains at all. Some of these mags definitely a lot stronger than others. I'm looking at NVIDIA. NVIDIA's pushing back towards its highs. Oh boy, look at Apple. Apple was trying to trying to push its highs. And look at the Quadunk. Look at the level of Quadunk that's happening on Apple right now, Sharif, as it breaks down. And it kind of, I guess, maybe reflective of the SPY as well. That day low coming in at 213.57, currently trading at 213.67. So about 10 pennies away from the day low. That's where bids came in off of the open and a little bit after the open on this candle right here at 942. So within the first 15-minute candle, there was a bit of a double bottom formed, which was also the day low. Let's see if that can potentially come in. Oh boy, catching a bit of a bid here on goggles. Probably gonna
Say more, man. All right, guys. It's just absolute buck wild right now. VWAV, there it is, $11. There it goes. Oh my God! In the second that I said $11, it jumped from 11 to 11.33. That is now the high. Here it is at the $0.25. This thing's on a rampage. It looks like it's going to break 400% right now, but that still pills in comparison to what VAPE is up. And VAPE is up or is down substantially off the high. It's still up 744%. There goes VWAV again into 1150, up 383%. It feels like that 750 is gone, and it's 1175 now. The short squeeze is on. You can see price action now that we haven't seen basically all day. This could be it now for VWAV. So let's see. Not it in the sense that it's going to start turning back, but now the huge squeeze. It looks like the squeeze has really been on since that 1075 break. Do we get bamboozlement or do we get continuity over here? So keep your eye on VWAV, VWAV, having trouble with 11.5, but the high of the day is 1175. Right back above 11.5 we go again. Great look today for VWAV. Be careful with this one, though. It'll break your heart. If you fall too much in love with it, you got to just take what you can get from it and get the hell out of there. I'm not going to draw any comparisons. All right, here we go. Into that high again, that 1170, or that 1150 still got taken out. But we still technically have a lower high. In the 60s, we go with that 1175 high from the previous area pop. Do we hold trend, though? 11.25 is the area low. Based on the 5-second chart, 11.25 the area low. If you lose 11.25, then you've lost the current trend. You'll have to set up again on a different trend. I'm not saying it's done trading. So here we go. We're going to punch in here. Let's see if we can get something to the high side. Boom! Into the high. Whoa! I added aggressively into the highs there. Let's take some out. As this one pops again. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Oh, taking out levels. Here we go again. I couldn't even punch into anything on this, man. Like I got like almost like 30 cents worth of slippage. I punched through 11.5 and I ended up getting 11.75 on this. Oh my goodness. On WWAV, what a move up. 11.98 is now up 400%. What an aggressive move that was. Jeez Louise. Okay, I was not expecting that. Also, PFSA is on the rampage to the high side. There it goes. It was at 115 moments ago. It's at 155. It's up 128%. This one's on one right now. So PFSA on one, VWAV on one. They're all rocketing up. Be careful, for the love of God. I'm going to keep saying it, and I don't care. If I sound like a broken record, be careful with this one. They are dangerous to trade. I fat fingered already into this. I didn't mean to add into this position. I had the 11.5s and I got so exuberant, I actually added into the position and now it gave back some of the profit. So that was a fat finger on my part there, but I don't even think this one's done trading yet. It's still got the goods right now. Let's see if it holds trend again. 1175 resistance, certainly, even though there's an 1198. Coming back down into 11.25. Could there be buying down here at the $0.25? There was buying at the $0.25 before. Let's see if this one's got the juice to keep going. 11.25 right now.
Whoa.
What do you got? Oh, take it.
Nothing. Just a little bit of sell coming in. You were talking about you can't get too attached to some of these stocks because they will break your heart. And I had to put on Heartless by Kanye because I was like, yes, let's go. And I was just like, how can you be so heartless? You know, I'm just jamming out to this right here, right now. The price. I don't get too attached to some of your trades. You know, where's the next trade should be the question almost always there. But yeah, market coming in a little bit there. ES still continuing to print some fresh lows. It seems like buyers are definitely a little dominant. So it's like it's not working. We're not. They can't hear me or see me. Oh boy. But can you, oh boy. So it's back? We're back? We're back. Okay, cool, we're back. Yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties. Just refresh the page if you guys are having some issues with seeing the stream and seeing the positions here, or seeing what do you call it? The video feed is what I'm talking about. The chat is still running. I still see you guys talking in the chat. The stream dropped for a second and then it came right back straight.
Oh boy.
So, we're coming right back. So refresh if you guys are still having issues there. But yeah, beautiful reversion on Palantir. Let's see if sellers come in. Nasdaq getting bought right back up. So yeah, that wick action may be showing us maybe some buyers in and around there. Google, I'm still waiting, still holding underneath VWAP as of right now, which technically I would say that, yeah, sellers might be a little involved here as of right now, but who knows? Still kind of waiting for that to come into fruition and more than willing to let it work or let it not work and stop me out as well. So let's see, 15-minute chart. Let's see, bar high is sitting at 92.14s, bar opens at 92.08, and we're currently bar low 91.78. So only about a few pennies away from both the highs and the lows of that 15-minute candle. Looking for more sellers, man, and sellers are definitely not in the small caps today, because that stuff, well, maybe there are. Maybe that's what's fueling the move. That is probably what's fueling the move. Sellers who are getting in on the front side of the move there. And I see that your V-wave is continuing to make waves to the upside right now. Is that 111s? No, that's 11s.
11s, yeah.
I keep thinking it's that vape
Yeah,
stuff.
I know that. Well, yeah. Well, vape would I would have definitely been double taking there because we've seen this one already do that. But Wave's getting some sell, or V-Wave is getting some selling over here at around the $0.50. Here we go. It's trying to clear 40s. We've already scalped up over here, but there's some selling. So I've taken out the majority of the position. Let's see if this one's got the juice to pop back up. Let's layer some orders now in the 50s on this one. There's 30s again. They're selling at 39 now. There's a big hidden seller at 39s. There we go. Just absolutely got blown up, but they re-enter their position. There we go. Taking out all the orders now on V-Wave into the high. 47s. Let's see if this one's got the juice to let it loose. Let's go. 11.5. Come on, man. That $0.50 seller's been preventing everybody from printing right now. So let's keep or pack our patience on this one. See if we can take out the seller. And there he goes. Absolutely got decimated. Into 1170 we go. This thing's freaking out over here. It's not even showing me the right price because it's losing its mind. There we go, into the high. There we'll print there as well. Big move here on V-Wave. There it goes, man, into 1180. Can we take out the high of the day? We're still holding from 1135. Anything below my entry, I flatten out. Into 12 we go. Oh, boom, into the high. There it is, 1209 on V-Wave. Oh, baby. It was actually tripping out the level 2, dude. The level 2 started like actually freezing on me. I had to look at my 5 seconds, and we got out at the top as it comes down $1 from 12.15 into 11.25. Oh my goodness. The pandemonium on V-Wave. What a move up into 12.15.
Oh,
it's so
frozen.
Exciting. It has a Dara yawning. It's absolutely fantastic there. Canada. All right, great look right now on V-Wave. What a move up and continuing to go. It's still actually holding trend, believe it or not, guys. It is literally actually holding trend despite the fact of the failed break of 12. I've seen this before. I saw it with 10. I saw it with 9, with 11. It always seems to fail break at the whole dollar only to boom, take it out from the top. J. Doe wants the money, money, money. He's going to get it. Absolutely. What a move up here on V-Wave. Oh, what a day, bro. Jeez Louise. I'm starting to lose my voice. I feel like I went to karaoke on the weekend. Shout out that she's not here. She won't get that one. But this one's still going. Oh, it's still putting in higher lows. What I keep looking at, guys, and I'm sorry that I'm looking at the screen on the top and not at the camera, but what I'm looking at are the higher lows on the 5. I'm trying to spot where the micro pullbacks are and where the breakouts happen. And by using the 5-second chart, as I mentioned last week, it's kind of an informal way to see where the buyers and sellers are like you would on the level 2, except it doesn't disappear. It stays there. And there it is again into the high of the day. 1234 high now. This is zigging and zagging. It's up 420% right now on V-Wave. Be on the lookout for this one. It continues to go. Obi.
Yes, sir.
What do you
Yeah, no. So my P8 froze for a second there, and then I think it was a little bit of a lot of potential data coming in there, and we ripped to the upside. Look at the markets. The Nasdaq ripping to the upside as well, recovering pretty much that strong doing that prior 15-minute candle once again, as we may potentially be catching a bid here. Get stopped out on that goggles a couple of times here as I try to take a couple more stabs here at that 192. So nothing too crazy here as of right now, but yeah, a little bit of getting a little chopped up there, trying to revert the reversion on goggles, and that bid came in quite nicely here, Sharif. So let's see if we can continue to get involved with this one and see if it can potentially continue to reward us as it comes in a little bit more here. 192s, let's see if that can hold and sustain. We saw that was a bit of a level a little earlier as well. I'm just looking for, again, more of the same, Sharif. So,
yes, sir.
Yeah, nothing, like I said, nothing too crazy as things just consolidate and do their thing here. I want to know what you guys are trading. You guys, during the lunch hour, I'm usually just observing, watching, not really getting involved too much unless and until I see something. Wow, NVIDIA actually pulled back all the way up to its day highs. Take a look at this right here. Pull up to the highs right there. 175.57 is the day high. Currently trading at 175.41, Sharif. So nice. A little bit of a bid catching on. And I forget who it was in the chat. They were talking about how NVIDIA is slow and steady, nice grind up, and grinding up, it definitely is. I'm curious to know whether or not we're poised for a little bit of a test of that day high. As of right now, if we continue that trend to the upside, I think that's more than within range, Sharif.
Yes, guys, I want to bring your attention to PFSA as well, because this one is not the only, VWAV is not the only one that's rocketing up. PFSA is at the high of the day, and it's up a very respectable 150%. Oh, wow. VWAV just hit another high of the day, 1259. So this one, 170 right now on PFSA. It's showing me 65, 66, so it's a couple of shekels off that high. It's got an uninterrupted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles in a row, but they're now a triple top is forming on the 5-minute chart at $1.70. 3 candles in a row. So if we finish this candle, the current 5-minute candle, and it doesn't break 170, it'll be 15 minutes of rejection at that $1.70. However, that's the bad side, that we're not making any highs. The good side is all 3 of those candles that have been topping up at $1.70 all have higher lows. So this could be a very micro flat top break or a micro ascending wedge. Be on the lookout for that. As I tell you about VWAV, it's coming back down. Assassino aggressively here off that 1259. It's $1 off the low. And if it makes any more lows here, it will be the first red candle to make a new low in a hot minute. It's currently holding prior bar low, but for how long? The buyers are stepping in. Let's give this an opportunity, see if it can catch a bid off here, Obi.
Yes, sir. So traders, listen up. First month free. That's right. We're waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder, and upgrade to elite. Analyze, strategize, capitalize. Our platform, it's everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with backtesting, reliable real-time data, global markets at your fingertips. All in one platform. Don't miss out. Execute your best trades now. Ready to elevate your trading? Scan the QR code or check the link in the description. It's our friends at eSignal, guys.
I like that. I'm going to do the news. Ob, is there anything that you want to cover before we get in to the news?
No, not really. I'm looking at, again, only watching Palantir and Google right now. Palantir probably a lot more in play than Google, and relative to some of the stocks that I had on watch in the morning session. Again, I was watching AMD, Intel, Palantir, a little bit of SockCell as well. Nike not really doing too much, and it seems like QuantumScape might be poised for fresh lows. So that's all I really got going on. Let's hear the news, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just setting up my stop for this one. So a 9, and then you get 6. Okay, fine, fantastic. Let's put that in there, see what we get. All right, guys, let's do the news, because there's I don't want to say it was like a heavy news day or anything like that, but there was certainly some things to talk about, especially with respect to these chips. A lot of chip-related news. Let's start off with the first one that caught my attention, Tesla. not doing a deal with Taiwan Semi. I wonder if this had anything to do with Taiwan Semi's strained output capacity, because as we talked about, remember the H20 that NVIDIA can now sell again in China? Well, they can't actually produce any new H20s for 9 months because Taiwan Semi's production output capacity is completely maxed. They had initially allocated it to NVIDIA for the H20, but Jensen called Taiwan Semi CEO back in April, said, look, the ban's going in place. I'm not going to need as many H20s as I had originally ordered. So Taiwan Semi reallocated all of that. So why I'm telling you all this when I got a Tesla headline here is perhaps the explanation for why Elon maybe chose Samsung. That's me speculating, not anything that I read. So here's the deal. Samsung signed a $16.5 billion semiconductor supply contract with Tesla effective a couple of days ago on the 26th, and it's going to run for a while. December 31st, 2033 is the length of the contract. Musk confirmed it on X. It centers around Tesla's next-gen AI chip called the AI6. TSMC is building the AI5, just so you guys know. Samsung previously kind of withheld that information because it wasn't theirs to make public, but Musk making it public so they can comment on it now. So kind of a good look there if you're a Samsung investor, which I'm not. Samsung's new Texas fabrication plant, Fab, will be dedicated to producing that AI6 chip. So you get a couple of double whammies there. You don't focus on Taiwan Semi, and you're building it with Samsung locally, not at the Arizona plant this time, in Texas. So you check off Donald's wish list there. Build locally, right? Musk emphasized the deal's scale and suggested the total value may actually exceed that $16.5 billion headline number. Tesla will co-optimize production efficiency because they're obviously very good at doing that with their cars. Musk apparently here, according to this article, going to be personally involved in accelerating the progress of the build out there. The contract is seen as a major strategic win for Samsung, the world's #2 foundry, obviously behind Taiwan Semi. And Taiwan Semi, as I mentioned, expected to continue to produce the now older AI5 chip in Taiwan as well as in Arizona later this year. So even the older chips, your boy Elon will have them made locally in Arizona. It's a good look because I don't think he wants any more beef with Donald. All right, despite the deal, Samsung's foundry business has underperformed substantially this year, with Q2 profit expected to drop over 50%. That's their foundry business, not Samsung's total revenue. Samsung trails obviously SK Hynix as well as Micron in HBD build-out. They also make that high bandwidth memory, HBM, for AI workloads. And NVIDIA currently sources their high bandwidth memory from SK Hynix, while Samsung's latest HBM chips are delayed until at least September. Obi, any comment about any of this?
Oh man, again, chips I think are one of the main watches here. I saw that overnight. I think it was yesterday.
Sir.
Samsung with the 22 trillion won deal, right? That's what you're talking about. So immediately I pull up the Samsung stock, which does trade on I think the South Korean exchange.
Yes.
And it was a little bit of a gap up, and I was talking to the boys because here at Real Trading we do have access to some of those markets. While I say that, NVIDIA fresh highs on the day as of right now, so absolutely beautiful action there.
Like that.
I was like, it's poised for a fresh high, and fresh highs we do make. Only about a penny above as of right now on NVIDIA, but Samsung it was like 005, 005.
Yeah, I love their old numbers.
So look at the technicals on this, man. So gap up on the news last night, right? Starts to consolidate. Look at this held offer that shows up over multiple hours.
Absolutely.
When that offer finally lifts, that's at 6,800. When that offer finally lifts and breaks high a day, look at the trend that comes in and pushes on Samsung. So this is, again, goes to show that price action, regardless of where you're looking and what you're looking at and what market you're looking at, is always going to be king, especially when you have held offers, which are barcoding
Zoom
so
out a little bit.
aggressively.
Was
So,
that an ascending wedge down there? Zoom back in
this is
a
a
little bit.
this is a 3 minute.
No, so this area here, that's an ascending wedge. Higher lows into a flat top, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So higher lows, building, and then that pressure is released. You get that confluence with volume as well, increasing volume through the breakout, increasing volume through day highs, and absolutely beautiful continuation on this one. Yeah, I think I got to get on some of these as well. So when we have worldwide news, I got to use the firm's resources as well as possible. And I think again, having access to said markets,
And we're blessed
to
be able to have that access, man. I mean, like a lot of traders are kind of, I don't want to say one-dimensional, but they got North American markets permissions, and we literally have everything that under the sun. Yeah. Let's go on over here, guys. U.S. and the EU, we opened up substantially higher this morning. There was a reason. And it's because your boy Donald struck a deal with the European Union. Him and EC President von der Leyen struck a new trade deal just before the August 1st deadline. The U.S. will impose 15% tariffs on most European goods, but they will include autos, but that's down from the earlier 30% threat. Key exceptions are going to include aircraft, pharmaceuticals, and chemicals. These ones are not going to face new tariffs, okay? Doesn't mean they're not going to be tariffed. They're not facing new tariffs, so you'll have to find out specifically what the fee will be, if any, for any of those different sectors: aircraft, pharmaceuticals, and chemicals. The EU will make energy and investment commitments as part of the deal. The EU is committed to purchasing $750 billion worth of U.S. energy. It's going to be a big number there, Katina, man, with LNG possibly part of that. So we'll have to wait and see. And an additional $600 billion investment into the U.S. economy. No details specifically as of yet. Trump also claimed the bloc will buy hundreds of billions in U.S. military equipment. Those specifics, again, were not provided. I don't think they really want to provide information on that. That's supposed to be a little secret there. These figures suggest, though, massive long-term capital inflows into U.S. energy as well as the defense sectors. So that's something to keep in mind. Europe is not a small-time buyer. They are the second largest economy if you look at them as a bloc. If you're looking at country, it's obviously China. The tariff impacts, so on the auto industry, let's do a little digging about that, because Germany was kind of worried. Germany, heavily reliant, Obi, on auto exports, celebrated the reduction in car tariffs down from 27.5% down to 15%, boosting sentiment in Europe's auto sector. Despite the higher tariffs overall, many EU leaders praised the deal for avoiding a full-scale trade war and restoring market stability. Get it, Neil?
You ever seen the Jim Carrey?
No. I'm sorry to put a poop on the joke, bro. I mean, if I haven't seen it, I haven't seen it. I would go with it, Neil. I just don't know. Yeah, I know, SS. You know, I'm not very fun, but there's nothing I can do about that. Let's talk about the political fallout. The deal averted a tit-for-tat tariff escalation, which is good. The EU, according to reports, guys, had been prepared to launch countermeasures in what they called a trade bazooka using anti-coercion instrument. I need more information on that because that's all this article gave. With tensions diffused now, Italy, Germany, and Ireland issued statements calling the deal sustainable and stabilizing. And just to give you an idea of what kind of relationship this was, Obi, listen to this. Yes. The US and the EU, their trade relationship, $1.97 trillion in 24, meaning that it's likely going to be higher in 25 if the trade the barriers haven't put a damper on that, making this deal a linchpin for global trade balance. The EU had a 50 billion euro trade surplus with the US last year, that's 2024, but this deal could shift those flows towards the US, especially in energy and defense. So be on the lookout for that. Obi, any comment here on the US striking a deal with the EU?
Man, I don't really follow that too much, but when that news comes out, I definitely want to look at what stocks those deals will affect. Sometimes a lot of, like, I almost always go to, like, if there is a deal with any other country, I'm like, okay, what are their imports, what are their exports? Exactly. How will it affect commodities? How will it affect trade? If there's any specific kind of things there as well. Now, I don't know what the EU's top exports are as a whole off the top, but that's probably something I gotta do a little bit better with as well. And I think we got something with Adara.
Yep, absolutely. Go ahead, Adara.
I looked into this trade bazooka. Let's talk about it. It is called the ACI, or the anti-coercion instrument. It was created in the EU in 2023. They have never used it. What does it entail exactly? I mean, again, we didn't use it, but this is what it would have entailed had they used it. So basically the goal of the ACI is to always induce the cessation of the coercion from other countries. That's when they use it if they feel they're being coerced by a third party, for example, in this case, the US. This is a lot more stringent than retaliatory tariffs. They can allow for import and export restrictions on goods and services, as well as intellectual property rights restrictions and foreign direct investment restrictions. So if they had used that measure, things would have gotten very heated in the trade war. Back to you.
Great reporting as always, Adara, and thank you for giving us that context. Do appreciate that. The top export category, according to Perplexity. Again, Perplexity. The European Union is machinery, including computers, followed closely by vehicles, and then third, pharmaceutical products. So machinery, followed closely by vehicles, and then pharmaceuticals, so very industrialized stuff. And that makes sense. Germany, you know, a huge vehicle exporter as well, obviously, as some of these other European countries.
Kind of, I love Germans. I love, like, in terms of cars.
Yeah. Well, who doesn't like German cars?
German cars, absolutely beautiful. And I'm a very big JDM guy as well. I would definitely go for the classics. I like my Supras. I like my Skylines. I like my what else? That's all Jap. Yeah, exactly. And in terms of Germans, I like my Beamers and
Beamer, Benzo, Bentley.
Beamer and Benzes are nice. I would go with Beamer over Benz,
you know that song, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Classic.
I want to mention something here, Ob. Eduardo tagging me, and he's saying something very basically accurate. Nobody's looking at the public opinion here in Europe for whether or not they like the deal. Okay, their leader said one thing, you know, it's better than a trade war, you know, they're not really embracing with open arms. But Eduardo is basically saying there could be a boycott of U.S. goods in Europe. And I'm just going to call it, and I personally don't agree with it. There is one already in this country. There is a huge push to buy Canadian. There is active anti-buying American sentiment in this country. I don't participate in it, but there is certainly that sentiment already, and you could see it probably weaseling somewhere else. So that is something we need to be concerned about. Because that could affect balance sheets. Now, whether it ends up happening or not, who knows? But that's just something I want to mention there super quick. All right, let's go ahead and talk about Baba Assassino, because they came up with a response to Meta's glasses, the smart glasses. So Baba unveiled its first ever AI-powered smart glasses, branded the Quark AI glasses. And the launch is planned in China by the end of this year, 2025, representing Alibaba's entry into the wearable tech space. It's going to be powered by Alibaba's proprietary LLM. It's called Quen, and it's Quark AI Assistant, which already operates as a mobile app, so it'll be a natural extension of that. Here is what they're going to support. It's going to be hands-free calling, music streaming, real-time translation, and meeting transcription. It's also going to come with a built-in camera and links directly, which is really, I think, what Meta wants to get into. It's going to link directly into Baba's already existing ecosystem. We're talking about the Alipay, Taobao, mapping, travel. I think that's what Meta's going for. Meta has that huge ecosystem. So does Baba. I would submit to you, Baba's is probably a little bit bigger because they've got Pay, they've got all this stuff. We'll have to wait and see what the actual version is, IRL. It's also going to be multifunctional for everyday use. It's going to have integrated payment systems, navigation, and shopping, as I mentioned. And we already know that there's already competitors with Meta's Ray-Ban smart glasses and Xiaomi's AI glasses, which are obviously only available in China. I've never seen them here. Maybe I'm wrong, but they're not in North America en masse anyway. Both obviously targeting the same category. The key differentiator here is going to be Alibaba's integration with its commerce, payment, and mapping services, providing kind of end-to-end China native solution. So, you know, not really for the North American customer, or so it feels. Maybe I could be wrong, but definitely something to look out for here, especially if you're a Meta or an Apple, and you've got a big ecosystem where you've got your, your existing user base, and you're looking for to expand out. I'm not saying Meta and Apple are going to copy Alibaba. Usually it's the other way around, but definitely nice to see that it's actually possible with these wearables.
Apple always is pretty late with some of those innovations or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, it's interesting stuff. Yeah, after the technology's like stabilized and it's maybe a lot of the kinks are ironed out, they like to adopt that and call it their own. So interesting stuff there. But yeah, no, I think Apple stuff with those ecosystems definitely could be at risk. But as long as Apple maintains its following, I don't think they're really going anywhere. Right? Apple has a much larger following relative to any of those other ones there.
They do.
But I'm excited. I'm excited for some of these new technologies that are coming out for sure. I was actually thinking of getting one of those. I guess the Meta ones, the one with the Ray-Bans. One of my buddies, I think I said that last time I was on. One of my buddies does have the Ray-Bans. He likes them. He likes them a lot. He's like, I can take videos, I can take photos, I can like talk and listen to music while wearing them. It's pretty good. Yeah.
All right, Adara.
Speaking of China, I'm just sitting here on X. Apparently, the U.S.-China trade negotiations in Stockholm have concluded for the day. So again, it seems like today's round of U.S.-China trade negotiations are over for the day. Back to you.
That's crazy. I didn't even feel the time
flies when you're having fun, Sharif.
I'm not done doing the news yet. We're going to have to give the Neil and the Katina man like a little bit more over here. No, I'm kidding. And Neil's like, what? All right, Nike catching the nod today from your boys at JP Morgan. If Nike, I think it was catching a tailwind. Let me just have a look at NK over here on the daily to see if we're in an uptrend. Not really. We're above the 200, which is good news because it's been a hot minute since we've been able to stay above the 200. So here's the deal. JP Morgan upgrading Nike from neutral to overweight, so a double bump there, citing improved long-term fundamentals. The analyst at JP called Matthew Boss, because he's a boss, baby. He raised that price target, like said boss, from 64 up to 93, representing about an 18% upside from Friday's close. Despite the optimism, again, and since Friday, the Friday close that is, Nike's up less than 1% on the year, leaving room for breakout potential. It's probably up more now. I'm not sure what it's up on the day. So they see a re-acceleration of Nike sales in the cards here, at least in the future. So Boss expects Nike's revenue to re-accelerate in the second half of 2026, going into full year 27. So that's about a year away, marking an inflection point after the headwinds from the product cycles as well as the inventory issues that they experienced. Global inventory, he says now, is now realigned with sales growth back on track, as I mentioned, for Q2 of next year, setting the stage for a cleaner top-line narrative. Top line means revenue, right? So the product pipeline really here has been growing. Apparently, they did a feedback for their spring-summer 2026 line with some of their wholesalers. And according to this article, it was very favorable, signaling what could be strong demand recovery. Nike recently hosted partners on campus to showcase the new product innovation, boosting confidence in brand momentum. And here's what the JP sees. They see Nike reclaiming about 500 basis points in operating margin that were lost over the past few years via better pricing and some leverage there. The long-term potential to push margins back to pre-COVID levels, which were around 12 to 13% versus what JP was forecasting, which was 10% for full year 2028. And they were giving them about a 2.5-year runway to get to that. Apparently, they're going to see pre-COVID level margins sooner rather than later. Obi, I would take your opinion on it, but we got to keep going over here.
Yeah, for sure.
Just to talk about this next article over here. And this is the U.S., as we know, was conducting an investigation into semiconductor imports. Our friend Lutnick confirmed the results of the Section 2032 probe into semiconductor imports. It's going to be announced. The result of that investigation will be announced in 2 weeks. The probe here was examining whether the foreign reliance on chips as well as pharmaceuticals posed a national security threat to the United States. The findings could justify, new tariffs. I wonder if he'll take advantage of that, potentially impacting, obviously, the global supply chain of chips. Trump hinted that more companies will shift production to the U.S. I'll submit to you that's what we're seeing, especially with the Tesla deal today, to avoid tariffs, including players from Taiwan and other Asian hubs. The administration is pursuing separate 232 investigations into copper and lumber, which could signal, a broader protectionist momentum overtaking the United States. And the tariff pressure may benefit, some U.S.-based chip makers like your Intels, your global foundries, and others that were incentivized by the Biden-era CHIPS Act. Trump's return ramps up pressure, though, on foreign chip makers while rewarding domestic expansion, echoing, that Biden-era policy, but with more aggressive enforcement. Let's keep going here. I'm just looking for the next important headline. Yeah, these are all not that important. They're all decent, but nothing really to write home about there. So yeah, that's the situation right now. Let's go back into the trades. MPU, we got a couple of beak wetters into 75, but this one is really slowing down. And the way that I see them, just going to flatten out for a 5-penny winner on the remaining amount, as this one is doing bupkis. Likewise with the other one, SES, that we've been holding all day. We'll just take this one flatten out for the last remaining amount there, but it was a good hold here, VWAP on SES basically all day. I want to leave you guys with a couple of trade ideas. I want to submit to you that PFSA is up very nicely here and could be an afternoon mover. It's up 150%, and it's basically a few pennies off the high. It's a 178 high, and it's trading at 170 right now. It's up 150%, as I mentioned. Be careful with this one. I see support between $1.45 to $1.50. That's PFSA. Also, VWAV. I don't need to tell anybody about this one. Everyone's probably already seeing this on the scanner. It's up 400%. It's got a 1259 high. It just broke down below 12, but trying to reclaim it again. Keep an eye out on VWAV. And then basically the last but not least over here, Assassino, VAPE. This one has been off the highs basically all day since about 5 a.m. I'm talking about the day high, not the official high. But it's been holding VWAP very respectfully. And I'll submit to you guys that this one does have a bit of an uptrend here if you're able to connect these area lows. It's higher low, higher low, higher low, but you're not getting that test of the pre-market high, Obi.
Yeah, guys, so top one, looking to trade futures like the Nasdaq, SPY, or even Bitcoin. Top One Futures is one of the fastest growing prop firms out there. They give traders the chance to manage up to $1 million in capital. Pick your path, instant funded, challenge, or pro account, and start trading your way to real payouts and even a live account. In the last 90 days alone, they've paid out over $10 million and earned 1,000 plus 5-star reviews from real traders. Use the discount code TTV to save on any account. Scan the QR code or head to toponefutures.com and start trading towards your next payout. All right, Sharif, it seems like it's a little bit of time here, but Google didn't really do too much. I got out of that one. Pretty much chopping up on top of VWAP as of right now. Palantir, oh boy, that one came in pretty nicely, but the reversion has sustained as of right now, still holding above that 156 level. A bit of a sandwich happening there, and some great movers on small caps as well, bringing in the waves as well and blowing up in smoke. So. You guys can figure out what stocks those are.
That was good. I've
used that pun maybe like 5 times already on the show.
It's still good. Yeah. All right, guys.
Sometimes I like to recycle and revert.
You're in tomorrow,
keep on reverting.
Right?
Yes, of course.
Tomorrow
I'll be here tomorrow.
So your boy Joe comes back on Wednesday. So all the OBE fans, you get another dose of OBE. 3 hours tomorrow with myself, and on the midday show, we'll see everybody same bad time, same bad channel.
Take it easy, guys.